To AM News. My name is Tunisia Pomaije, and our very first story. After years of bitter misunderstanding over who occupies the presidency of the Nkranza Traditional Council, all feuding factions united this weekend to witness the coronation of Nana Kwame Bafo IV as the new Manhene, who immediately used his first address to chart a new path for the area, declaring community farming as the centerpiece of his reign, with plans to create jobs, build processing factories, and turn Nkranza into a leading agricultural hub. Anna Sabit has more.
It was a spectacle of color, culture, and joy. Thousands gathered at the Nkranza Town Park as the drums of unity finally beat louder than the echoes of dispute. Traditional leaders from far and near, alongside key political figures, witnessed the coronation of Nana Kwame Bafo IV as the new Mahini of Nkranza. The ceremony didn't just install a chief, it ended years of factional wrangling over the presidency of the Traditional Council. In a remarkable show of consensus, all sides agreed to rally behind the new Manhene. Kwame Bafo IV reiterated his vision of turning Nkranza into a farming hub through community farming. What is more important to us, the people of Nkranza, is about jobs. A lot of our youth are unemployed, and we are fortunate to have fertile lands. So I have instructed Nananom to engage into what I call community farming. We want to change our old way of farming. We want to have factories here that will focus on processing our raw materials into finished products, and that will bring jobs to the people here. But the Manhine's vision does not stop on the farm. He appealed directly to the government for better rules to unlock development and announced the launch of an educational trust fund to provide scholarships for brilliant but needy students, a bold step to lift human capital in the area. We've always been speaking about our town roads, and so we want the Honorable Regional Minister to forward this to the President to do something about it. We also want to use this platform to launch the Nkranza Development Fund. The fund will be used to do other important things the government is unable to do for the people here. Deputy Local Government Minister Rita Na Odole Sowa noted that chieftaincy remained vital to Ghana's development, adding that government is committed to a strong partnership with traditional authorities for sustainable development.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Deputy Minister, I wish to reaffirm government's commitment to strengthening collaboration between traditional authorities and local government institutions. Government will continue to support initiatives that deepen these partnerships.
Bono East Regional Minister Francis Osuantri, on his part, called on the Nkranza Manhene to use his leadership to liaise with other chiefs to help resolve the numerous chieftaincy disputes across the region. Nana, I am appealing to you to collaborate with other chiefs within the region to help solve the many chieftaincy issues we have in the area. The day also saw the installation of a new Queen Mother, Nana Sapoma III, adding to the strength of the traditional leadership. As the drums faded and the dancing continued late into the evening, one message was clear: Nkranza has turned the page. So after years of misunderstanding, the people of Nkranza now have a Manhene with a farmer's vision, a scholar's heart, and a plea for roads. Whether peace will hold and development will follow, that is the next chapter. For now, the drums of unity are finally playing in Nkranza. Anna Sabit, JoyNews.
Now, as preventable illnesses such as hypertension and malaria continue to pose a major health challenge in Ghana, residents of La have benefited from a free community health screening exercise organized during the Easter period. Led by Revival Outreach Church as part of its corporate social responsibility, the outreach sought to improve access to basic health checks while promoting early detection and prevention of common diseases. Namoko has more in the following report.
Health professionals and volunteers offered free screening for hypertension, HIV, hepatitis B, malaria and other common conditions during the exercise. The initiative formed part of efforts to improve health awareness.
Looking to level up your life and business game? Welcome to the #1 podcast for business and self-development, Connected Minds Podcast.
Checkups are often delayed or inaccessible. Speaking at the event, head pastor of the church, Professor Oko Amati, said the exercise was intended to support community well-being by responding to both health and social needs. He added that the outreach also aligns with a broader plan to establish a community clinic to serve residents of La and the wider public.
For the past 5 years, during the Easter program, we decided to be attending to the needs of the community health-wise. So we have an assembly of doctors, pharmacists, health professionals, and other health workers who come to attend to the needs of the community. They will check your vitals, the lab tests, the eye tests, and the doctors will diagnose and prescribe. And all of these, the church takes the bill. Everything is done free of charge. And that is our help to the community. That is what Jesus stood for. He healed the sick. He fed the poor. So real Christianity is not just to preach the word of God, but also to attend to the needs of the people. And that's exactly what we do. We have big vision, and with the vision we have, we should be able to put up a health facility as our contribution to the community.
Administrator of the church, Elder Peter Kwesi Akofo, highlighted the importance of regular medical screening, noting that the annual exercise provides an opportunity for participants to know their health status and seek timely care when necessary.
Yeah, so every year, Easter Saturday, we'll be here to do it for the community. It's free. Everything is free. We have some doctors, nurses, and pharmacists in the church. So they also bring their colleagues to support them to do this. So the church finances it.
Some residents who took part in the screening also shared their experiences.
It has benefited me a lot because I don't normally check my BP.
Currently, I'm at the eye sector because I'm having a little issue with the eye.
This program has really been helping us because every year you get the chance to check your vitals and you are able to talk to the doctor even though you don't have money.
As non-communicable diseases continue to rise in Ghana, health experts say regular screening, early detection, and timely treatment remain critical to reducing preventable deaths. Now, more cause report for JoyNews.
Now, the Ghana Journalists Association President and Chairman of Gumwa Easter Carnival Planning Committee, Albert Kwabena Jomfo, is rallying investors to channel capital into Gumwa following the success of the maiden Easter Carnival. Speaking to JoyNews exclusively, he says the event has opened up new opportunities for tourism growth and local economic development. There's more in the following report.
The maiden edition of the Gumwa Easter Carnival drew thousands of patrons from across Ghana, turning the enclave into a vibrant hub of Easter celebrations over 4 days with a rich blend of cultural, musical and recreational activities. Buoyed by its success, Chairman of the Planning Committee and President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kwabena Jomfo, is urging investors to tap into the area's vast potential as organizers set their sights on making the carnival an annual fixture.
Boosting economic activities in the area community. So today, if any investor is wise or smart, this is the time to come and invest at Gumwa. Because look, we need hotels. The hotels here were not enough. There are a lot of people came who did not sleep because they didn't have rooms. I know people who drove convoy, like Richard Yamakwe and all of them, Palasco, that is Council of State member, Dr. Maswabuache, Nanama McBrown, and all of them. A lot of people came who did not sleep. So it is time now we are going to look at how to get enough accommodation and rooms to be able to accommodate the substitute. Because remember, we are moving from carnival to festival.
Building on that vision, Albert Kwabena Jimfour revealed plans to expand the carnival to surrounding communities in Gomwa in subsequent editions, positioning it as a catalyst for broader socio-economic development.
We are thinking of expanding it, not concentrating on only what we call a Kwamkrum. You understand? This time, like I said, I took 50% out because we didn't make good use of the Jar Town. The Jar Town, one of the Jar Town. We didn't make good use of the palm wine village. You understand? Where we're supposed to go tap palm wine and all that. We didn't make. Now we are looking at the community, the major communities. Coming next year, what are we going to do? Like, when we go to Kwawu, let me use that as an example. When we are climbing, the fun begins from Empraiso, Obome, maybe part of Nkwetia, part of Obo. So this time around, so we're going to do that. We're going to make sure that we pitch all the community against each other and try to face activities and also get artists on those activities in the various communities so that there will be activity that will be like everywhere will be busy.
The Gomwa East Carnival is already gaining nationwide attention as a fresh tourism destination, with expectations high for even greater patronage and impact in the years ahead. Collins Rimpon's report read to you.
Now let me take you to the Central region, where the Member of Parliament from Fantiman constituency, Prince Ebenezer Ahin, has disclosed plans for the construction of a mini harbour to facilitate the transportation of lithium once mining activities commence at Ewoya. According to him, the proposed harbour forms part of new additions to the lithium agreement aimed at preserving the road network by shifting bulk transportation to aqua-based systems. He further revealed that a feasibility study for the project is expected to be conducted within 6 months to determine the viability and scope of the harbour. Dr. Ahin made these remarks at the launch of the Saltpond Easterfest Expo.
The maiden edition of the Saltpond Easterfest Expo was launched with a strong focus on stimulating economic growth and promoting local enterprise in Saltpond. Speaking at the launch, President of the Infantiman Saltpond Development Alliance, Ernest de Graftejour, highlighted the diverse economic potential of Saltpond, stressing that the expo will serve as a catalyst for sustainable development in the area.
We have more natural minerals in Saltpond. We have the most beautiful beach in the whole of Ghana, as you can see. We have all the political tourism sites in Ghana. CPP was formed in Saltpond. UGCC was formed in Saltpond. And the remnants of these offices are here. The first town to have oil drill here, GMPC, Saltpond. First post office. Second hospital. First third road. We are first in so many. And development has eluded us. But we have come together through the Infantiman Saltpond Development Alliance as youth of the town, as scholars of the town, as leaders of the town, that we have realized we have to take charge. It's the reason why through approaches like Expo, through approaches like Homecoming, and others we are yet to do, we are going to ensure that we develop our town together with government.
Touching on the anticipated lithium mining project at Ewoya, Member of Parliament for Infantiman, Dr. Prince Ebenezer Ahin, outlined key components of the lithium agreement, disclosing plans for the construction of a mini harbour to aid lithium transport.
Another important element that has been introduced into this new agreement is what we call construction of a mini harbour. The mini harbour is to help us do aqua transportation of the lithium to Takrado, wherever it is. Before, we didn't have anything like that. So we saw that if we allow the lithium company to transport their goods on our local road, it is going to destroy the road. So we have introduced a mini harbour. It is their responsibility that after 6 months, they have to do feasibility study to do that construction of harbour for us. Another important element is that people of Infantiman, especially the youth, are going to have a lot of opportunities in terms of jobs. And I'm advocating, telling you that don't let our stress and sweat go in vain. We have spoken, we have lobbied, we have shouted, and we have rectified agreement. Please come and develop your skills in terms of this welding, anything that is related to mining industry, so we all can benefit. I will make sure that the local content aspect of job creation will go to the locals here.
Meanwhile, Emanuela Simmons, a sales representative with Elisa Collection, emphasized the importance of the expo.
I've experienced a lot, and it's very good. It's very good. It has also helped me to showcase my business, exhibit what I have to those who don't know. So it has really helped me.
From Salt Pond, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for JoyNews.
From the Central Region, let me take you to the Upper West Region. Member of Parliament for Wa West, Peter Lanchene Tobu, has led a major community initiative bringing together hundreds of residents for a historic Wa West Picnic 2026 at Vieri DA Primary School Park. The event combined celebration with purpose, promoting peace, improving access to healthcare, and highlighting cultural heritage, while also addressing a long-standing dispute between Kandio and Lasia. Mr. Tobu described the conflict as a localized issue rather than an ethnic divide, expressing confidence in traditional leaders to help restore harmony. This is a report by JoyNews' Rafiq Salam.
At the heart of the MP's agenda was the ongoing peace mediation between the Lasia Tolu and the Kandio communities. The duo has been engaged in communal conflict since the days of yore. Addressing the massive crowd, MP Tobu emphasized that the lingering tension is a block to the district's progress.
The conflict between Kendall and Lasse that is gradually getting to an end is actually not a conflict between Wala and Brifos. If you come to Wa, there are a lot of Brifos who are living in Wa peacefully. If you go to Wichao in particular, there are a lot of Brifos who are living in Wichao peacefully. If you go to Dairi, if you go to Kunchile, under the Naha traditional area, there are a lot of Brifos who are living there peacefully.
The MP further explained dispelling rumors of a wider ethnic clash.
It is not actually a problem between Brifos and Wallace. It is a problem between two communities that have coexisted peacefully for over a century. What is it? The problem? Human beings will solve it. And we have the capacity with the traditional leaders and all the elders in Wa and its environs. I am quite convinced that in the next few months, Wa West will be back to peace.
He firmly stated his refusal to channel government resources into peacekeeping when they are desperately needed for infrastructure, declaring,
if we will take government money and invest it in peacekeeping, when are our roads going to be done? When are our hospitals going to be done?
Beyond peace building, the event prioritized the well-being of the constituents. Over 200 community members benefited from a comprehensive free health screening exercise spearheaded by the Akuma Plus Health and Wellness Foundation. Amanda Abba Adu Akor, the program manager for the foundation, noted that their intervention was crucial for the rural demographic.
Akuma Plus Health and Wellness Foundation is a non-governmental organization dedicated to reducing the burden on cardiovascular diseases in underserved communities here in Ghana. We are here screening for hypertension, diabetes, basic cardiovascular diseases that we already know are prevalent in our communities. So hypertension, diabetes, and we're also checking for the body mass index, which is the BMI, and other conditions as well. Today we've already identified some high-risk patients with respect to their BPs being very high, and they are not aware.
Adding that free medications and referrals were actively provided. What was the District Director of Health Services, Madam Cecilia Kakaraba, who led a team of 17 nurses to support the initiative, lauded the MP's vision.
It's not just picnic, it's a picnic with health care. Taking good care of your people, ensuring the health of the constituents will ensure his success in Parliament. So we appreciate his work. He supports us in many ways. This is just the tip of an iceberg.
The push for unity was further cemented on the football pitch, where a fiercely competitive match between Ga and Vieri ended in a 2-1 victory for Ga. In a massive show of high-level support, the Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP, Francis Jiribare, graced the occasion and personally awarded the winning team. Both teams walk away with a set of jerseys a football, and a handsome cash prize of 2,000 cedis. District Chief Executive for Wa West, Richard Wulu, who presented the awards to the very team, described the MP's initiative as a monumental first for the area.
This is the first time in the history of Wa West that we are organizing such a program, All for Unity, to claim for the needed development that we've all been yearning for. Without unity, you will not be able to do anything.
The historic day climax in a vibrant explosion of traditional culture, showcasing performances from the Biri Bogor group, the Wala with their dance, the Madayiri group's Bewa dance, and a powerful anti-drug beautiful performance by the Budi dance group. In a final unifying movement that electrified the crowd, both MP Peter Tubu and DC Richard Wulu through protocol to the wind, jumping into the arena to dance alongside the Bapalba women's group, sealing a day that Wa West will remember for years to come. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Very.
Let's do some business. The government, for the third week running, failed to meet its Treasury bills target of 4.63 billion Ghana cedis. The following report has details.
According to the auction results by the Bank of Ghana, the government recorded 32.19% undersubscription of its auction target, higher than the previous week. According to the auction results, the government got 3.16 billion cedis as against a target of 4.63 billion. It, however, accepted 2.84 billion of the bids. The most subscribed bill was the 91-day bill, as 2.02 billion cedis of the bids were tendered, representing 63.8% of the total bids. However, the uptake was 1.99 billion cedis. The 364-day bill recorded bids of 648 million cedis. The uptake was 416.93 million cedis. For the 182-day bill, 498.9 million cedis of bids were tendered. The bids accepted were 416.9 million cedis. Meanwhile, interest rates continue to increase again on the yield curve. The yield on the 91-day bill remained relatively unchanged at 4.81%.
Also, Managing Director of the Tema Oil Refinery, Edmond Combat, says there's growing confidence in the full recovery of the refinery. Speaking to fellows of the Africa Extractives Media Fellowship during a visit, he noted that the facility was heavily indebted and inactive when the current management took over, prompting efforts to restore staff morale and revive operations. Mr. Combat says ongoing rehabilitation will boost production, create jobs, and also strengthen TOR as a key national energy asset.
It is only here that all the premix that you hear, premix shortage, as journalists, you've heard this a lot, all the premix is prepared here. No other institution currently in Ghana has the blending capability like TOR. So it's something that we have to jealously protect, because if we let it go, it will take a very long time to get a facility like this. The storage we have for crude, we can store crude about 3 million barrels. Most of half of that crude, about 60% of those crude tanks were out of service. Well, what happened in the Middle East? If you have enough crude storage tanks and you have enough buffer, you can at least know that within 3 months your country can be running because you have petroleum product. But if your crude tanks are out and your refinery is out, you can imagine what will happen. And this is the only refinery in Ghana that produces ATK, aviation fuel. So this is something that we all have to jealously protect and guard. And this refinery is so strategic in that it's connected also to the jetty. It has a jetty that is part of the infrastructure. And then it's also connected via 2 pipelines to Bost. And it's also connected to Vanna, as well as Pet Hub and TFC, like private depots. So if you have products here, sending it across the country and to the Sahelian market is very easy and efficient to do nationally. So President Mohammed's reset was to make sure that this asset is preserved for the present and future generations. And we are happy to be part of the story. We are happy that within a very short period of time, the confidence here and the work ethic here has changed. But the story continues because we are just scratching, because there's still more work to be done.
That's it for business. That's it for AM News. Don't forget that the AM Show is sponsored by Shield Silicone Paint from Azar Group, Syntex Pipes, and Time Herbal Mixture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we enjoy today's moment, remember to keep your body refreshed and your energy right with Fresh Drop Still Natural Mineral Water. Fresh Drop Still Natural Mineral Water is not just any water. It's natural and mineral rich that keeps you going. So whether you're dancing, cheering, networking, or simply enjoying the moment, Fresh Drop Still Natural Mineral Water helps you stay cool, refreshed, and fully present. So grab a bottle available in 500 ml, 20-liter jars, and sachets. For bulk purchase or inquiries, contact 055 22 50 290. Now, the big Easter sales is happening now at Compu Ghana, and it's bigger and better. From now till the 12th of April, shop any product from well-top brands like Samsung, LG, TCL, HP. Enjoy massive savings on TVs, smartphones, laptops, and home appliances across all Compu Ghana branches nationwide. So visit Compu Ghana showroom today or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Experience this Easter season the Compu Ghana way. Call 0302 75 2020 or WhatsApp 0243 143 143 for enquiries. This promo is in partnership with NLA and the Caritas platform. My name is Denise Yapomaije. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the show. Have a lovely day.
A woman cuts off daughter's toe. I think she has been arrested for returning home late. Her daughter returned home late, and that was the punishment. The police is looking into that. The overseer this morning, Metro Mass secures 100 buses, more expected to boost public transportation. This one, Rashid Tanko, yesterday on the show, mentioned this, and the overseer as well is confirming it as well. Former NDC chairman Ofosu Ampofolu's father Sate here. We're sorry for the loss. Ghana to develop 60-hectare irrigation plan to boost tomato production. President Mahama has been speaking. In fact, he's been saying a lot when he delivered that speech at the Kewu Business Forum as well. Mahama lauds Julius Deborah for shaping Kewu Business Forum. And there is a story, and I see a picture of Sami Jemfi. Gold Board's exclusive control has curbed leakages in gold trade. If you're interested in that story, grab a copy of the overseer. The New Republic this morning, Yahota Maklo opens Rawlins's death wounds, and he says that 5 nurses vanished, 2 army captains shook hands, and a nation still waits for answers. You're curious about that story? It's on page 3 of the New Republic, and the swell CCTV unearths Kolebu's fire scandal. The story is on page 3. Again, it's another story I have to look into for you. But Mahama Macron as well, co-chair of One Health Summit as well. The insight this morning: Heath Goldfields collateralized Bogoso Prestia mines for $65 million, and U.S.-Israel war on Iran. There's an update. You want to grab a copy of the insight this morning to get some updates of that. We'll be extending this topic on our desk, especially because of fuel hikes. You recall that the president says that he'll be calling for an emergency cabinet meeting amid the rising fuel prices. We'll get into that for you. But that's the last paper, or maybe, yeah, that's the last paper. If I just bring you myjoyonline.com, what's the news without myjoyonline.com? Bank of Ghana's 1.3 billion profits from gold sale could help narrow 2025 losses. That is our top story this morning. And one dead, 6 in critical condition in Gomwa Fete accident. And as well, police recover stolen Honda CRV in Kumasi within 48 hours. We saw that story in social media. A lot more stories if you visit myjoyonline.com. Let's get into the news review this morning. Just a bit later, we shall be joined by Dr. Bernard Tutu Boahene. He is lecturer in political marketing at the University of Education, Winneba, and Kujapoko is executive director of AINSTEB and a member of the NPP Communications Directorate. Hobson Adoye is Director of Field Operations for the United Party, and Wanda Madilo, Development Analyst and a member of the NDC Communications team. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the show.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I hope you are well. Kojo, I read that update on how the big push could not be funded entirely.
Cannot be funded according to the way the president proposed that it should be funded.
I read that.
Yes.
Have you had any responses?
I don't think there would be a response because those facts are indisputable. They have to come and tell us the alternative funding that they have. For me, I think it's going to be through borrowing, but it's just a reality that hasn't kicked in yet.
Okay.
But eventually, look, the numbers are out there. I took it from Bank of Ghana. The paper is out there. If anybody wants to dispute it, they can be my guest.
Okay. Kojo is inviting a guest to this. For how are you doing? Did you have a good Easter?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Okay.
I'm just coming from my hometown.
Achiavi?
Yeah.
How are the people of Achiavi? They fine?
But you know, Volta region, Easter has been our everything. Only that we don't gather at one place like other regions. So Achiavi was, in the total Easter festivity. In fact, yesterday we had a health walk to end the whole activity, and it was just fantastic. We had a team from Kuforidia and other surrounding to pray with the Achiavi youth. And
who won?
Oh, Achiavi won. We gave them 1 name.
It would have been a problem if you didn't win.
Oh, we gave them 1 name. So, yes, my people, God bless you. I hope next year will be better, far better than this year's one.
Okay. Wanda, did you have a good Easter?
No, very quiet. I've been driving a lot.
Hey, Wanda, your gray is coming in your eyelashes too.
Yeah, I've been driving a lot. So something just hurt me driving around a few times this vacation. I discovered that we're growing slumly. The country is developing
a lot more slums.
A lot more slums than.
Well, what do you think is contributing? People cannot afford.
Country planning is must set up. Because I drove through, I'm not going to mention them so people feel offended. I've drove through virtually half of this country this Easter week, and I see a lot of, where there were no roads before, new roads have come up. But the houses, you see, are all slums, caves, corners, car can't go through. Look, Togo, as bad as we criticize Togo, one of the things you can't take away from them is that even where there's a slum, there is still a proper road network.
That you can,
that you can use to get somebody's address.
That's an interesting observation.
Slums, you would find them in this settling in squares, and with road networks. The road may not be good, and all that infrastructure may not be too good, but it allows for easy future development. But I feel so hurt.
Isn't it the disparity between the rich and the poor?
No, it's not. This is not.
It's not. It's just planning.
Yeah, it's just planning because, for instance, if there's fire outbreak, how do you get access? That's what we.
And country planning.
Town and country planning, I think, should sit up because why do you wait for a city, a rural area, a peri-urban area to develop before you go there and say, "I'm checking structures"?
But how people are settling in these areas is because they can't afford the other places.
He's not talking about settlement. You can settle anywhere you want to settle.
Yes.
But the demarcation.
Yes.
We leave it for them to do it anyhow. Then it turns into a community. Then it's difficult to now go but if there is a slum, he's saying you go to Togo, there's a slum. But you can see that there is some level of demarcation within even where. You understand? So we leave people to do their own thing.
So if I understand, these areas, they look like they're developed. It's intentionally developed, all right. But the road markings
maybe no road.
I say this because it looks like when there's a new place coming up, springing up, it's not developed completely. But people go to put structures over there in waiting.
Yes, but then how do you put a structure in waiting?
Yes.
Every square meter of this country is covered by a municipality or a district. They just don't do their work. That's the most, every road in this country emanates from a walkway. That is why when you're driving, it's meanders and avoid. So every road developed from a walkway. We've never done, we never looked at Ghana and planned Ghana.
right? When our forefathers were walking to places and that road becomes a dirt road, then eventually becomes a tarred road. So you are meandering, going up hills and coming down hills. Nothing is properly demarcated. So that's what he's saying. Areas in this town, only the old towns, like you go to Dansoman, you go to all the properly planned areas, you realize that there are alleyways. Look, I live in Fantini Town in Kumasi. Alleyways, the road is done, and it's square blocks. You can tell that those are properly planned areas. These new developments, there's no such thing. I mean, somebody moved there first, then he starts giving the areas out. Then the next thing you know is a community. Then people have built permanent structures, then it's difficult to even go and do that thing again.
And,
so
do you know the program? Town and country planning. Are they not receiving their salaries?
No, they do.
They do.
It's not even called something else. I think it's called Spatal or something. They've changed their name. Special planning and something. They've changed their name. There's a new act.
They are not working.
I'm quite fascinated that you all are on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
No, but those are things that really worry the country.
I hope it continues there.
No, but
it's all.
As in what?
It's all.
Continuous way.
I find all of you on the same page.
No, but you see, town and country planning.
We are all being responsible to make sure that we push a certain agenda.
Town and country planning is a problem for everybody. It's a problem. In the municipalities and districts, the worst, I would not even say is the worst, whatever. They don't do their work. Most of them, you go there in court. Because most of them are lawyers, and that's all they do is go to court.
And some group of people that they need to be whipped. It's the engineering department at the various assemblies. Do you know why? Someone will start a burden. You will see, and no, here you are not supposed to do that. The person will bring some envelope, then you just cross eye on it. It will be there up to some level. They will just use the red ink, stop work, and that's all. Before you realize, someone is there. Are you getting it? Then it comes back to help all of us. When there is flooding, then we'll be talking big. Do you know why that is continuing? Civil servants are looting this nation, but politicians carry the blame. Why? Because we are not one to deal with it. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Once it happens this time, hey, NDC government. When MPP is in power, it happens. MPP government.
But there are real people down there.
So they take advantage of politicians. Are you getting it? I mean, when you go through the Auditor General's report, I mean, look at the money that we waste. And how many of them are politicians? Find out. But we heap the blames on politicians.
Wonder.
I think the reason the blame is heaped on politicians is because some of those people themselves were also appointed by us. Then they're serving a bigger interest. Because it's very difficult to get
the appointees, let's say political appointees are there. I am talking about civil servants.
But even
someone is accountant somewhere.
Even if the technocrat is appointed by the politician, isn't he appointed to do his work?
But would they be allowed to do that?
No, but that's the problem. They don't do their work.
But would he be allowed?
I don't mean to cut you down. Let me give an example. In every ministry, when the minister first comes in, right, he holds a meeting and he will ask, what's going on here? Everybody will keep quiet and say, as if there's nothing going on there. Because nobody wants to own up to continuity. Nobody. So minister comes and says, if there's nothing going on, then this is the agenda. But if the chief director and the directors tell them, these are the things that we were doing before you came, and they brief him, no minister will say, stop it. You understand? But you see, it is favor seeking. Right now, the most worst one is that the minute the person's name is mentioned, then the directors themselves are going to his house to now tell him when he comes who are the MPP people, who are the NDC people. That's what is happening now. So we are now going through and alienating brilliant people. I know people today, when the chief executive came, look, the lady was taken to, if she's watching, she know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention names. When she was senior in the institution, when the new chief executive came, they went and winched her, so she was moved to the basement or mezzanine or wherever. Her office was somewhere in the corner. 6-7 months down the line, the chief executive realized that one of the most brilliant people in that institution is that lady. They now brought her back to her original position, all because of what? Somebody went and said, oh, when you go watch this woman, she's this, she's this, she's this. That is the problem. And we are using that to spoil the very good people who are just there to do their work.
That's sad to hear. That's really sad to hear. Do I have your permission to move to the other matters this
morning? Yes, please, go ahead.
Let me start with the fuel pricing. I mean, it's one thing that affects all of us. So the president says that he's likely to hold an emergency cabinet meeting to at least find some solutions or some options to cushion all of us. I'll start with you, Kojo, especially because of the work you have done in terms of the energy sector and all. What are you expecting particularly from this cabinet?
You know, I don't even know where this story came from about this emergency cabinet meeting, because the president is not in town. He's traveled to France. So where was from the emergency? I don't even know how the media got this thing that, oh, there's going to be an emergency cabinet meeting.
His team is there. They've not debanked it.
Well, that's fine, but I'm saying that if there was an emergency, cabinets are on Thursday. I don't know. I think Thursday or Wednesday is cabinet, which is tomorrow or Thursday. Mm-hmm. So if there's going to be an emergency cabinet meeting, that means there should be one today. But the man,
it depends what the government describes as emergency.
Anyway, that's fine. So let me now move on to the conversation. I think that for me, what I've said is high prices. You can go through the petroleum tax build-up, right? And look at the big ones, which is ESLA. ESLA is now 2 cedis, almost 1 cedi, 96 pesos. Then you can go to the special tax, which is about 46 cedis. Then you can look at some of the bust margin. I don't think you can tax, because we are even looking for more money for bust to do strategic reserves and stuff like that. So in terms of then the price stabilization recovery levy is 14 cedis, 16 cedis, 14 on petrol, 16 on diesel. So if the president sits and says, look, I want to give some relief to Ghanaians, and probably takes away the 1 cedi that was brought recently, and then the 14 cedis or 16 cedis, depending on which fuel, for the price stabilization, call it 1 cedi, 20 pesos, right? In the next window, the increase that will come will negate that, because we'll probably get another 2, 3 cedis in the next window if this war continues the way it's going. Because bear in mind, the numbers we are seeing on the market is futures. So what the deliveries that the refineries have taken are the prices that they had in early part of the year, which is the January, February numbers. The expensive crude is now to be delivered to the refineries. So then the actual price, what you now have to increase, the premiums will start really going up the longer the war goes on. So my fear is that we shouldn't worry too much about, are we going to pay high prices? Yes, we are. My concern is scarcity, that we don't run out of fuel. And if there's going to be an emergency cabinet meeting, the president, and I said it yesterday on another platform, that the president and his team should look at mitigating factors that will stop us from getting scarcity. Because some countries are having scarcity, where there are demonstrations in some Asian countries where they are demonstrating against high prices and scarcity. So forget it being high. If it's high and we go to the fuel pump and you get some to buy, then you manage yourself. But when it's high and you can't get to buy, that's worse than high fuel prices and you are not getting to. So for me, the government priority should be talking, because you see, it's a deregulated market. Whether fuel comes in or doesn't come in is up to the businessman whose trade is to import fuel. We are in a part of the world where certain decisions the businessman might take might have an adverse effect on the economy and the country. So this is the time where the government, if anything, should pull in and have a meeting with all these business communities who does the downstream importation, the BDCs and the IOCs, to now find out what the government can do to help mitigate if there is going to be any, if there are any challenges which might in the future cause scarcity in the country. For me, that's where the focus should be.
What about the countries that are having private negotiations with Iran to be able to open the strait for them to have fuel pass over?
Well, some are passing through. That is why if you look at the prices, it's not going where everybody thought it should be. I mean, the oil price is really around 110, 19. It hasn't really gone to, because there isn't a complete shutdown of the strait, right? Those countries that are seen as friendlies of Iran, Irans are letting those flow through. So we are not having the 20%, maybe not entire 20% is going through, maybe some 8-10% is going through. They are not happy with certain countries, so therefore will not go through. So that is the reason the tension or the high price is not escalated. But look, there is a deadline today ahead, right? Trump gave a deadline today.
Yeah, it's Tuesday actually.
Tuesday, yes, there's a deadline today where he's saying that he's going to basically fire the electricals and whatever. But let's see what happens. The Iranians are not blinking. They are saying that, look, we've seen the worst. You've come in, you've killed everybody. What's the worst you can do? So I think, look, the sanity prevails will be good. I heard there's a ceasefire proposal that's being looked at. But in Ghana, we should really look at putting measures in place to not to get into scarcity.
Okay. Mr. Joy, what do you expect? I mean, the minority says that at least that one Ghana cedi levy should at least be taken off in the interim whilst we discuss other measures to cushion the Ghanaian people. Kojo, on the other hand, is actually concerned about scarcity because at some points you may be happy to pay high price, but what if the fuel is not available? If there is or without any cabinet meeting at all, what are you expecting this government to do at least? Do they have real potent things to do to cushion us?
First and foremost, I would like to agree with Kojo this morning and associate with his comment that government need to up his game to make sure they are full in the system. We don't need to go out queuing for fuels this time. Now, if let's say we should take off the one cedi and then maybe reduce some of the taxes. Let's say fuel comes to maybe 10 cedi a liter. You go out, you don't get it. And then fuel is being sold 20 cedis a liter. You can get it every day. Which one will Ghanaians prefer? So we don't pray that it goes up, but we should make sure. I listened to MPA boss, and he was giving a strong assurance that at least we have some 6 weeks cover, and the diesel about 5 weeks or so. And we are also hoping to get some of the fuels in town in the shortest possible time. So we are praying that at least government should focus on getting the fuel in the system so that at least when you move out, you should be able to get fuel, buy and go. Don't go and go, oh, we are waiting for this, we are waiting for that. No, that one, we are not expecting that. As is happening in other countries and other things, I think Ghana, we are better placed now. Though very expensive, but I mean, we'll appeal to Ghanaians, let's manage it and pray that the war over there ends so that at least we go back to our normal thing. And we are also seeing the price this way because of some kind of stabilization in our cedi dollar relationship. Had it not been that, like the price could have been higher than what we are seeing today. Once the cedi has been able to appreciate against the dollar, it is also helping in this pricing. So, Ghanaians, let us pray and hope for the better, that in the nearest future, like Trump was saying, they should be able to end this war so that we go out on our normal duties without saying, I don't have fuel, so I couldn't go to work, I couldn't travel, and all those kind of things. We need fuel in the system, and government should make sure we get it. For the price in there, let's forget it. Those who are saying we should take off the one cedi temporary and then come back when? I mean, there's no need to take it off if only it will come back. I mean, let's leave it like that. Mind you, as we are facing this, we also have another problem to solve, that one cedi. We also use it to buy crude to power our generators, to give us light. So if we take it off and we are not able to buy crude, and then Doomsday starts, what happens? One experience in my hometown, Atiabi, and this one, I am making special appeal to the Minister of Energy and then Electricity Corporation of Ghana that Akachi district, they should, investigate the ECG office. Remember, we can be there, then the light off. In 30 minutes on.
Oh, the
45.
The kids are on excursion.
45 minutes off. And every weekend, by 6 p.m., they put it off, unless the following morning.
Then they don't have to investigate only at they have to investigate at Denta as well.
I know my suspicion. That's why I'm saying that.
What are you suspecting? What are you suspecting?
I'll not. Oh, say it.
I don't want to.
The kids, we are told the other the kids are on exhibit. The kids go and visit.
Last Sunday, it went off. I called the regional minister. You know, the regional minister comes from Achavi. I said, look, minister, what is happening here? Every weekend off like that. And minister also told us that we have excess capacity. So why this off?
No, but you should call the district. You should call the district engineer, not the regional minister.
No, I don't have the district engineer. So I did that, and in less than 20 minutes,
it's been resolved.
It came back upset this morning when I was leaving.
It's on.
And then, Kojo, what you are saying to be true? The children were on excursion.
The children were on excursion.
Are you getting it? So later on, I contacted someone. One of the regional managers of electricity, and requested for the district managers.
The district manager will be the
then he gave it to me. I've not called him yet, but I'll be doing that.
Okay.
And then find out why all these things. Are you getting it?
Okay.
I mean, at times, we should not be doing this to put people in difficulty. No. We have the capacity there. Then someone will sit down and then at his own decide to just press it and then off and on. Why? So I will appeal to the minority. If the one CD they are advocating for, if it will come back, then it's better we leave it.
What if it will not come back at all? Then
if it will not come back,
if we take it out, will it harm us in any way?
If it will not come back, how are we going to solve the problem?
Power.
Okay. That's why I am saying that it's better we leave it there.
Okay.
So that at least it will help pushing.
Wanda, you've heard both Mr. Doy and you've heard Kujo as well.
Yeah. So on this energy bill, I do not think the worst, is going to happen.
Yes, sir.
I know, and we have all been told that a lot of negotiations is going on between feuding parties. Like we're told also that the strait is not completely closed, and therefore there are some movements here and there. Then coupled with at least a good management of the CD, I think we're seeing some stability in terms of the pricing. Fuel price is no longer, a determination by the government. We have deregulated somewhere 2014 or 2013, and so it could not be the case that, unless for the weaker management of the economy, then you start seeing, even though it's deregulated, largely all the factors that are causing the push are government-related. For instance, a weaker CD will run through all the charges. We have introduced some 1 Ghana cedis per liter and all that. If we don't manage it well, all that is waste. If you go to issues like what normally you would get from, as benefit, like the road fund levy and all that, you look at all the other components, you realize that if one event, which is a poor management of the CD, will run through all of them. So I see some stability and we can make progress with that. I'm told my brother wants to discount what cabinet meeting will be. Cabinet meeting can actually be virtual. The president doesn't even need to be in the jurisdiction at all times to chair that. And the constitution is 76 is very clear that the vice president can actually chair cabinet meeting. In fact, even in the absence of the vice president, if it is so by resolution, they can agree that the senior cabinet minister chairs cabinet. And so they say that adverse moments call for some adverse decisions to be taken. And so I'm very excited that the president...
I mean, in the past, my parents used to tell me that the only time they could eat rice with chicken was in Christmas. But now you can have rice and chicken sometimes because your family really wants you to feel good. Exactly. We don't have to wait for the scarcity. Can't we get some Christmas?
No, well, so looking at the figures, I mean, the NPA boss has been assuring that we have enough. I don't even...
We have enough, but you can see that, of course, the price has increased likely.
As for the price, it won't just be Ghana. It will be all of us affected. And I'm sure President Trump is...
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. You see, everybody keeps saying we have enough fuel. You see, there's only limited capacity that you can store fuel in the country. The issue that when we say look at capacity in terms of scarcity, is not what you have in tank. It is the ability to replace what you have in tank. So if there's a disruption in your ships coming in inflows, then even a 1 week will create a disruption. That is why everybody says, yes, we have 8 weeks, 6 weeks. We understand that there's fuel in tank. But the caution some of us are given is that we know the value chain and what it takes. The person that imports is the businessman, not government. But we are saying that we are in a realm where we are not under normal expediencies. So government should have a discussion with the businessman so that if the businessman is having any challenges, government finds a way so that the flow keeps continuing.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the bigger cabinet, emergency cabinet idea. How do we coordinate the whole chain? Because it's not just government. Yes, government does do some imports, limited to only the capacity of tall tanks and then bust. Even that, the government doesn't do all of it because you have other BDCs who go to rent space and then store their product there. And so, yes, we do have limited capacity, but we're lucky the likes of Centro, Chase Petroleum, EcoBank and Co. have all become BDCs and they are doing some good figures. Those are the people, the key players we need to keep an eye on. And then beyond them also, their challenge may not even be an internal problem. There may be there's a genius issue, which is having to deal with a partner who has been affected. For instance, if they have a partner in Chevron, and let's say Chevron uses the Strait of Hormuz, and therefore that's their route to Ghana, and they don't get it. That can also be a very exogenous matter affecting all of us. So indeed, I'm very excited that government is taking steps to do what is needful, is good, is futuristic, is good planning, and it helps also to stabilize. Because, look, you know, there's even if government keeps the CD very stable and there's shortage today, the price will hike. I mean, nobody's going to buy it. It's either they will hoard and wait for the price to stable, or they will create an artificial shortage, and then people begin to sell even above the regulated figure. And that's where the deregulated figure, and that's where our biggest challenge will be. So I'll be happy that we are able to do this. And that is also coming at a good time when TOR is now beginning to do their own refinery and all that. If TOR can do that very well, and they may not need to go to the Strait of Hormuz for their supply of crude and all that, and follow the likes of govt and Co., I'm sure we can make some good progress.
Okay.
So it doesn't have a very devastating effect on the economy.
Okay. Doc, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'll come to Kojo. I'll go to Doc, and when I come back to you, yesterday I sought to get some answers. So I hear that the Strait controls 20%. It looks as if we're not talking about the other 80. If it's 20, it means there's some 80 cents somewhere. And how 20% has sort a whole global conversation. I'll go to Doc to take his submission. But when I come to you, is it true that this 20 really can disrupt supply so much when we have 80, really? Doc, but the call for, the minority says they should reduce that 1 cedi. I mean, that's where I start my question from, because that's quite relatable. The others are very, very big terminologies that some of us cannot relate to. But they're asking that in cushioning Ghanaians during this fuel prices. Of course, we've seen some increases quite recently as well. And we're anticipating that the next window, there may be some slight increases as well. If the government decides to cushion Ghanaians, what kind of cushion, what form and shape do you think this cushioning should come?
All right, good morning, Amifa. Good morning to your crew. Hussein.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. Wanda.
Yeah.
Very good morning.
Very good morning.
Yeah. And good morning to our viewers as well. I think that the ESM is quite necessary.
You did not shake hands with MFM.
The distance.
Yeah, wonder. You're just so naughty, you.
That's it. You know, growing up, whenever someone is traveling, people will stand by the car and say,
Ampa, that's true. Wonder just carried that joke.
So I think that is very important, especially what it means to the ordinary Ghanaian on the streets. What it means to, you know, the general value chain of trade in Ghana and pricing. And so I think that one of the key issues that have always, you know, caused problems for ruling governments, you know, has been the general rise of goods and services, which normally, if you are not careful, the recent past one had to do with fuel, increases in fuel. You realize that when around 2023, 2024, prices of fuel started going up. That was when drivers started increasing fares, and it actually got to the point where, you know, there wasn't anything like a kind of control system within our markets. People were just pricing anyhow, and so people started calling on the government. And so probably that is what is informing, you know, the current government that, hey, we need to be careful. If we are not careful, and then, you know, we go beyond 15 cities, we go beyond 18 cities, we hit 20 cities mark, as it has been predicted. You know, obviously, your gains are going to erode, and you'll be in a serious mess. And so, probably to avoid this kind of fuel-related inflation, government, you know, which I think that the president himself has said that he's going to review, you know, the prices of fuel to probably see where there will be a need for a cut, and then probably go for it. Looking at the readings, I think that I made this point yesterday on another TV station, and I feel that there are about 4 areas, 3 areas or so, which government can look at. But more specifically, 2 areas are of key concern. The petroleum product levy, and then the petroleum tax. The levy is the 1 cedi, and then the tax, that is the petroleum tax, has to do with the 46 pesos. Probably put together, we're going to get like 1 cedi, 46 pesos, right? So, as to whether that would be quite significant or not, you know, it's a matter that we probably have to discuss. But I think that it will serve a purpose, at least, you know, when that review comes up. So, looking at what the president has said, I mean, in politics, you don't seek to probably make a promise and then you refuse to deliver. One of the key things that, again, has become the bane of politicians is their ability to deliver and tie it with the promises that they have made. And so I think that, yes, it is important that, you know, the review comes up. And when it is done, probably it will bring that kind of caution that Ghanaians are seeking for. I think earlier on I heard Hobson talking about the fact that the 1 cedi should remain, because his point is that if it is going to come back, all right, then there's no point taking it off. To some extent, I think I may agree with him. But then I also feel that this war is equally not going to last forever, right? So as and when, you know, it ends and then it brings relief to the good people of Ghana, we can still go back and pick it. I think that the second point that, again, you made was the fact that the 1 cedi was introduced for a purpose, right? And that purpose still remains. I mean, to get certain revenue and be able to pay for certain debts with the IPPs. And again, I think in total it's about 1 cedi, 98 pesos or so.
Yeah, nearly 1 cedi, 20 pesos, yeah.
So when you do the breakdowns, in as much as it is paying for the IPP's debts, it is equally helping, to put lights on, all right? But the point that I'm trying to make here is that, government is equally making some windfalls. Okay, windfalls from the sale of crude oil, to international markets. And when you do the calculation, obviously, what is happening is that government is going to have a windfall of over 8 billion cedis. All right. Now, the 1 cedi or so money that we were getting, the projection was that government would be able to mobilize over 5.7 billion, to deal with the debt within the sector. And so, if you are getting about 8 billion, right, what it means is that if you take away the 5.7 billion, you are still left with a significant amount of money, 2.3 billion.
Doug, where are we going with this? Which means that they can be able to cushion us by,
of course,
by removing the...
You owe 5.7 billion, right? And then you have a windfall of 8 billion.
Yeah.
Can't you use that to cushion and still have something, a reserve? All right.
Okay.
So, based on that, I feel that if the experts are able to sit down to do all the calculations that they are doing, I mean, it should be good for us, and not just the 1 cedi or 1 cedi 46 pesos. They can still cushion out with about 5 cedis. Going forward, 5 cedis. Oh yes.
How?
Oh.
Kojo,
the figure is...
Kojo, who is an expert in this, believes that...
5 cedis. Kojo, government should take 5 cedis out of the and give it to who? And give it to who?
Cover us.
How?
Oh. Hey. How, as in, say... 5
cedis.
Oh yes, Kojo.
But even the tax component in the fuel is not 5 cedis. How do you get the 5 cedis?
Kojo, don't worry. So you don't worry. I am just playing the devil's advocate.
Oh, okay.
So...
Dog, me kota 5 and 3 and 2 and 1.
5 cedis.
Oh, there's one my 5 crown.
No, the 5,
Oliver Twist.
The 5 is beyond even what
the tax component. The tax component.
Oliver Twist decided that if I sit here and continue to deal with this small bull, okay, I will not be good. One day I'll die of hunger.
I'd rather ask
for more. And in Ghana, when you go to the traditional markets, that what happens? The tomato is just in the basket. You ask for a reduction, don't you?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So definitely it will be a bargain between government and us.
Okay.
You know that already gold and cocoa at the world market price has come down. So the windfall that we are getting from the oil, I mean...
A bit later, that was a reduced.
Yeah. If we say that, okay, because of that windfall, we should touch this... I'm of the view that it will affect the economy.
I'm coming to that.
It will affect the economy.
Because I think that the latest news this morning is that gold is making significant gains, all right? And that we still will have some windfalls from gold.
Okay, okay.
Well, I agree.
Probably the only shortfall has to do with cocoa.
Okay. Wanda, come in and let me go back to the question.
Well, I agree conceptually that yes, you may have to go for some of those windfalls. Again, that is where the problem is. You see, if all you get is just being used on consumption, which you get nothing from, when there's a bigger disaster, we will suffer even more than.
No, but Wanda, it is still.
They say that you make hay while the sun shines. When it's good, store enough, but there will be a rainy day. And that's where, some 2 years ago, Ghana actually tried what we call when you hedging. It was a big story, big issue in this country. For 2 years we were discussing hedging, how we have to be sure that we don't put our hedging formula in a manner that jeopardizes the whole industry and all that. Then leading up to that, we went for the deregulation to take that away from government, that risk away from government. But some of these suggestions, they are good, but it's just a short term,
Okay.
So I think I've not landed.
Okay, please land for me, though.
You see, we all believe in the short term issues. We believe in it. Like I stated earlier, the war probably will not last forever. Definitely it will end within the shortest possible time. Okay, that's what we are all praying for. And so if the president has made a promise, okay, we are expecting him as the first gentleman of the land to honor the promise.
Okay.
All right. Now, if he is able to honor it, he leaves a legacy, isn't it? If he is able to honor it, it becomes a plus.
I recall when former President Akufo-Addo gave some alleviation, especially on water and electricity during the COVID time. We still had people calculating the cost of that.
Yes, later.
Yeah. We still had people calculating the cost of that, what shall I call it, relief that he gave us.
You also know that the countdown to the 2020 elections, if those reliefs had not come, MPP was going to suffer a defeat.
Yeah, but at what cost?
You understand?
Okay.
So in politics, it's about winning an election. In politics, it's about getting the favors. You understand? I don't see the cost that Wanda is talking about. Obviously, government go for loans to construct road. And when government realize that there's a pressing need somewhere, they divert the money. Is it not the same thing?
Sure.
All right. So what will be wrong when government is saying that I am going to cushion my people for 3-6 months? What will be wrong with that? When, of course, we are getting a windfall of about 2.3 billion, and probably gold is also doing well now, because I just checked, and it is about $4,600 now. Okay, meaning that if today,
I just had the info that they're expecting it to go up in the coming weeks or months.
Yeah, but the government doesn't sell gold. This gold conversation, government doesn't sell gold. Government only get royalties from gold. So if gold goes up, how does that directly benefit government coffers?
The same thing with fuel.
We sell crude. There's a difference. We get a share of crude that we sell, which comes directly to our coffers. We don't get a share of gold that we sell. So there's two different things. We only make revenues,
but the
revenue that government is getting,
introduction of
gold board.
Yes.
No. Gold board, you don't make anything. You see, that's a confusion you guys make.
No, the difference is that, you see, this
you
time,
don't make anything from gold.
Previously, gold will go out, will not get any return. I mean, the forest will not come back. Yeah. This time, it will go and then we have it.
No, you don't. You see, my brother, let's do this education.
You see,
when you look at government revenue,
when you export gold,
Hobson,
you have
it's good
a percentage of the amount that should come back to Ghana.
Yes, there's a reserve. It's a swap. It's a swap.
It's not revenue.
No, but you see, when
we were not getting it. No, now we are getting it.
We're getting it. It's a swap. Please, let's educate. It's very important. You see, revenue and swap are two different things. What I'm saying is that if you have 1,000 cedis, you go to the Forest Bureau and come back with $100. You've not made any new money. You just swap your cedis for $1. When you have cedis and you go through the gold board thing and you buy gold and you sell the gold and get forex, you've not made a revenue. You just swap your money. What we are talking about is...
the value is the same?
Yes, the value is the same. When we go through oil revenues, Ghana gets $770 million in revenue, fresh money. We don't get that for gold. The only thing we get for gold is royalties. That's revenue. No, that is what it is.
Look at this board. Look at the board. Look at the board.
The royalties can't be valued. There's no value to them.
No, but Bank of Ghana's money is not GOG's money. Bank of Ghana makes money. It's not government of Ghana.
Okay, let's carry the viewers along.
What's that?
The education is not conclusive if you don't add that because it's not coming directly to Bank of Ghana, GOG.
Government, no, but we are talking about government of Ghana's coffers. No, the education is important. You see, people keep making that we made so much revenue last year
let's also
from gold.
explain. You've made your point. Let's also explain.
Let me hear you on that.
Okay.
So my point.
Doc, let me hear. Okay, please land and let me.
I was just checking. I mean, it is clear that governments get royalties.
Yeah.
Okay. And that the royalty goes to government coffers.
Yes, I agree.
By all means.
So it means that government can use it for its expenditure.
Which is fine. But yes, that's what I wanted to explain.
Exactly.
When you now talk about oil, what we get from oil, we get royalties and we get a share of oil to sell. So we get two things from oil.
Two things. What royalties?
Royalties and the sale of crude oil to come into our revenue. What we get for gold is only royalties.
So I understand.
Yeah. So that one is clear.
Okay. What's the clarity here?
Again, this
conversation. You didn't allow me to land.
Okay, Doc, please land.
So
your time. No, Doc, please land because I think I agree with you. This plane has been taxing you for a while. Yeah.
I equally agree with him. So the difference between gold and crude oil is that we have two streams of revenue from crude oil, yes, and one stream from gold. Yes. All right. But the one stream still support government budgets. And that is about over 5 billion, cedis. Mm-hmm. All right. So if you are getting that, is it not going to help you? Now, at what rate are we getting the 5 billion cedis? So what it means is that if you are selling gold at, this is an assumption, if you are selling gold at a rate of, let's say, $4,000, and then we are getting 5 billion. Then, when it increases to 4.5, what are we getting? Exactly. So that is my point. Now that gold is increasing now, it means that the royalties coming to government is equally going to increase.
Okay.
Is it not a windfall?
Okay. You wanted to put some clarity. I want to go to
the clarity
on this.
To put on this is that yes, government doesn't make direct revenue from gold, but the value is always bigger. Why? If today gold board goes to the market and buy at 4,000 per ounce, and by the time government is ready to offset it, we have stored value, and so but I'm offsetting it at 8,000 on the world market. That margin will be realized, but it's less all the things I've done, like they are saying they have to check the purity, export prices and all that will be calculated in. The difference is margins. It's actually revenue you have earned. Hitherto, we didn't have all this because not every ounce of gold in this country goes to the gold board. Today, the gold board goes for it to give money to people to buy, and so you can store value, sell at a later date, and make more money. It's the reason they were shouting some few weeks ago that government of Ghana has sold some gold reserve they have put together.
No, government of Ghana has no stolen gold. It's Bank of Ghana. You keep confusing it. Bank of Ghana is not a government of Ghana. Please. No, it's not. Because you refuse that allegation. You refuse the allegation.
That's not true.
You can't refuse the allegation.
Bank of Ghana does that on behalf of
No, it's not. Bank of Ghana does not. Bank of Ghana's account is not the same. That is why we say that Bank of Ghana lend money to government of Ghana. So there are two different institutions. Government of Ghana and Bank of Ghana are two different institutions. Don't commingle. No, but Bank of Ghana's activities.
I'm saying that Bank of Ghana's activity is not in the state where it happens without consultation with government.
Yes, but the revenue is not your revenue. Bank of Ghana's money is not government of Ghana's money.
Okay.
What is revenue then?
Bank of Ghana's money.
What do they use for Bank of Ghana? What do they use it for?
Is the Bank of Ghana's money.
Let's have this clarity.
Yes.
Bank of Ghana's money is
money. Yes. Use it for Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana money is not government of Ghana's money.
Yes, we know.
That is why government of Ghana sometimes we say that do not lend money to the government of Ghana. As we speak now, Bank of Ghana is in the business of buying T-bills. Government of Ghana is buying T-bills. They are two different institutions. But you see, we tend to let the public think that Bank of Ghana's revenue and money is GOG. It's not.
Nobody said that in the first place.
No, there's no point.
At a point.
No, there's no point.
At all.
No, at all.
Okay.
They do not. They are not in a real life.
When they went into debt, when they went into debt, If anybody was to resuscitate them, it was going to be GOG, not themselves. So there is a connection between what Bank of Ghana does and what Government of Ghana does. And that's why the Finance Ministry and the Bank of Ghana must always sit in one place. Well, that's one is in charge of policy, what's the name?
Monetary policy.
Monetary policy. The other is in charge of fiscal. And the two go hand in hand. You couldn't have been doing things on your own at Bank of Ghana and expect that.
We're moving away from this to your conversation, but I was asking you about the
80-20, okay. So the 80-20 is such that, look, there seems to be a seamless flow of energy. There is a certain amount of demand in the market, right? That demand is day to day. When you have 20% short of that demand, of that supply to that demand, then there's scarcity. The minute you have scarcity, economics tell us that prices will go up. The second part of it is that this commodity is traded on the world market. In the world market, anytime there are disturbance in the world, where there's war, especially where those things are produced, the uncertainty also led the traders now, basically, the market will price higher because there's a certain level of uncertainty. So two things are playing out. The uncertainty, which is making the market basically go. What you are seeing on the world market when you Google is actually the futures. The real pricing on the day of delivery might be higher or lower. Even the Dubai market, we are seeing 110, 19. The Dubai market is available about 170, which is what the physical sale of the product is in the Dubai market. So the reason that 20% is creating a problem is that the world demand has not changed. It is the supply, which is now less 20%, which is creating that scarcity, which is creating. Now, Asia, in Asia, to forestall and cut down the demand, they are now letting people work from home. They are now rationing fuel because they realize that if everybody go about their daily business, that demand will be there and they will not be able to have the supply to meet it. Asia is now coming to Europe to take products from Europe. We, Africa, most of us take our product from Europe. So that is where I'm saying that if you now leave the normal business as usual, the premiums are quite high. What we see as crude oil price is not really what pertains when it comes to buying petrol and diesel. The premium, how much they put on their ex-refinery is what's important. Now that there's scarcity, every trader is pricing high. So something that was about $45 per metric ton, as at last check, was about $180 per metric ton, which is the premium on the ex-refinery. So as the product gets more scarce and the traders are not able to deliver the physical product to someone, then there's a bidding war on that vessel or on that product, so that it now gets difficult to supply everybody. So what happens? We are rationing. Okay, there's this amount of kerosene. Everybody gets more. There is this amount of diesel. That is where you might now see people using less products. And that's why we are saying that the problem is not the pricing. Pricing, as we've all agreed on, you can leave it or do what my brother is saying, take 5 CDs, which I don't see how that's possible. But go for what Hobson said, let there be fuel no matter how much it costs.
I see what you mean. Sri Lanka is doing exactly that. They're rationing at the moment. Use QR code to buy, as and when you can buy and all of that. Let me start with you, Mr. Doyle, on the LGBT conversation, the bill. So in sum, the president seeks to say that, I hear you, but it's not top priority now. I have other things and needs, pressing needs to attend to the country. So we'll talk about it, but I have to solve other issues. How is this coming to you? Of course, you have heard what the minority is saying, that when NDC was in opposition, they were very loud and vocal about it, that you must pass it, you must pass it. The president says it's not a priority. They will look at it, but it's not.
All right, thank you. It seems most of the people are getting what President said wrong. People think he's saying that, oh, I don't even care about it. There was a meeting. He was asked questions, and most centered on this Iran-Israel war. And they were asking how he's going to be able to sustain the economy. He spoke about that. Then someone also asked a question about this LGBTQ. And then he said, oh, for now, that is not the priority. Are you getting it? The priority is that let us see how we can manage the economy. Then we come back to that. And then, boom. Hey, president is this, president is that. There's one particular reverend minister who is also an MP. I don't want to mention him.
There's only one reverend minister who's an MP. So whether you mention name or not, everybody knows. There's only one reverend minister who's an MP.
Huh?
Maybe no more than one.
Price is a reverend minister.
Oh, please. There's only one reverend minister that everybody knows is an MP. Please stop.
So you want me to mention?
No, but you've already mentioned.
Reverend Jim Bojo.
We all know what you're saying.
Is that
The other reverend.
You see, the way he's handling the issue, I don't think it's being fair.
How?
I happen to be on the, Christian leaders platform.
Okay.
And
also you're so
but
now you're the one.
Just by a lot of politicians are also on the platform. Yes. So he started the conversation. I said, look, my brother, what you are saying, you cannot say that. Now, President Mahama campaigning said when it comes to meet the bill, he will sign. That one is a fact. Are you getting it? Now he came to office, bring the bill. Speaker of Parliament say the bill has expired because the president refused to sign it. So Parliament did not even transmit the bill from Parliament to presidency. Supposing the bill was in presidency and then they left power, that one, President Mahama could have signed the bill to law. But that didn't happen. So what are we to do? Our focus, our attention, everything should be on Parliament to hurry up with the bill and then pass it and send it to President to sign. Now, when you heap this in on President, what are we expecting him to do? Because he's not going to pass the.
I mean, of course, we can't have this conversation without taking it back to Parliament. So yes, we hear it's not on his table and he hasn't signed. But isn't it fascinating that it is one of the very last bills that was passed in Parliament that died with that previous Parliament, and so it is expected that maybe the beginning of the new Parliament, it will be one of the new ones that will be part, because he signed a few bills, by the way.
Yeah.
He signed a few bills. Yes. So people are thinking, really, if it died, it means that it was at the near finish.
That bill was not government-sponsored bill. It was private-sponsored bill.
What's the challenge?
I get it.
Yeah.
So if the private people decided that, look, let us push it. Ireland is back there, only that to have a space to go through is now the issue. So we should be on Parliament. But you see, the hypocrisy in all these things, those who are saying, oh, President, you have failed the country and what, the hypocrisy is what I don't like. Okay. We were all here. When Parliament passed this bill, President Akufo-Addo instructed his executive secretary to write to Speaker that, hey, don't try to transmit that bill to presidency. He warned him that they should not dare.
Because there were some things that were in contention. It's not that he says... There were issues he believed were still in court that needed to be...
Which court?
I mean, of course, you know that Richard Delaskai and another person, they were in court, you know, challenging a few parts of it.
E-levy was sent to court. President signed it. What are you talking about? Someone went to court with the e-levy. So it seems it was scheduled to be heard on a certain, a day before or so. President Akufo-Addo signed. What happened? Are you getting it? So if you say someone has gone to court, so they should not, if you receive it and say that I'm not going to sign until court determines it, but you want Parliament not to even transmit it to your office. I mean, well, come on. Then you come back and come and tell us that, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing the same people who said Parliament should not transmit the bill to presidency. Today, you are saying that President should do something. What are you expecting President?
So basically, we should have this conversation, but the NPP shouldn't talk about it some.
I mean, the way they are portraying it is not good. Okay. You see, let us all have a conversation and make sure. I mean, the unity, the force that they use in 8th Parliament, they should use the same thing. Instead of maybe accusing the president wrongly, we should stop that. This is how we do our things, and then we don't get anywhere.
Do you believe this bill will ever be passed into law? Do you believe it? And what would be the benefits to us?
I always ask myself, we are in this country. At times, you see someone who whisper, this person is a gay. Oh, this one is a lesbian. We hear it all the time. People whisper. And we know. Some of them, by their actions, and you can feel that, oh, it's true. Look, let's put various parties aside and see which party will have more of those.
As in like the political party.
Yes.
As in like
MPN,
United Party.
United Party. For United Party, you don't even get single one. But
how did you arrive at that?
Single.
How did you arrive at this conclusion?
No, I am saying that. You see, some people are behaving.
What do you think? Which party do you think will have more?
Listen, some people are behaving like KJTives. Who are they? Who understand it?
Who are they? Who are the kids?
Please, you understand.
Quiet.
You understand.
I'm very quiet. Don't
you understand it.
I beg you. I could go on this topic, but please don't bring me to it.
Okay. When they are coming to stay, we want to pick from Dr. Tutubuahi. So myself and Kojo will come from the other. Then I will tap you. Then Kojo will pick. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Then the moment Kojo pick, he says, Gromfo. He point the finger somewhere, the attention will go there.
And then the two of you will go.
I see. Are you getting it? That's how some political parties in this country are behaving. Especially with this LGBTQ. Why?
What are the benefits of signing this bill?
What benefit? We have our constitution. Culturally, traditionally, moral. We don't do those things. Are you getting it? Okay. We don't do those things.
Okay.
So when we see, look, remember, I am Hope Sinadoye. I have kids. If I hear or suspect that any of my kids are involved in those things, do you know what I'll do? What?
What will you do? They have rights.
I will make sure the discipline that person, he or she will not even try again. Are you getting it?
Okay.
You see, we leave parental responsibilities to government. These gay and lesbians go to various churches. They are the ushers, they are the singers, they are the instrumentalists. All of them.
They're not going to be happy with you.
Not that what?
They're not going to be happy with you.
Which people?
The church. The church. Yeah.
You see, the church is, should I describe them as hypocrites? Today, the churches, the men of God in this country, they are hypocrites. Look, Desmond Tutu and then Archbishop of Canterbury and those, when they speak, government act. In this country, tell me one man of God that will speak and government will act. Tell me one. All because of the hypocrisy. Are you getting it? You see white, you say, oh, it's like. It's like what?
Say it's perspective.
Say white.
Not all whites are white.
Assemblies of God people.
I am Assemblies of God people.
Oh, sir, okay.
Are you getting it? But
which assembly?
Oh, why do you want to interrogate me?
No, I want to find out.
No, but you don't believe he's a church member or what?
No, I know he's a church member. I know he's Assemblies of God.
Why you call Reverend Wingam, he will tell you that yes, I'm his church member. Don't worry.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Okay. So let us be frank. If churches are dealing with this issue, do we need a law for this thing? Do we need it? We don't need it because the Constitution is clear. How can I look at your face and bypass you? And they say, oh, wonder, you are not.
My goodness.
How?
Okay.
How can I do that?
It's a good place to land.
So, I want to...
I think it's a good place to land.
So, I am saying that these things, It's not the law. It's not the law.
But we have culture and belief, but we have had to use the law to cure excesses.
You see,
you agree?
If various chiefs in various communities, I heard of one chief made a statement somewhere. I'm forgetting the place. That look, if we see you in that kind of attitude that you are gay, you are lesbian, hey, you'll be in trouble. Are you getting it? And then, MFA, the last thing is that we don't have the political will to deal with some of these issues. Not that we don't know some of them. Not that we don't know some of them. Are you getting it? But their actions, everything, they themselves, they can come out and say it. What are we doing? Look, we see boys walking on the street dressed like a lady. And then we allow them to go free. Just like that. Just like that.
What's wrong
you
with that?
see a boy, a very young guy, 25, 30, with a wig, and then, I mean, what is that?
What's wrong with that? They're just
you say what is wrong with that? What would the law do?
Okay.
The law will not do anything.
Let me go around
we
the
see
table
you that way. I mean, the law.
Breathe.
I am very passionate about this.
Okay.
And I want our men of God in this country to stand for once and say that, look, if we say it, we'll sack you, and then we'll have empty chapels, we should have it.
So if I understand you, if the churches were dealing with this, we'll be discussing this in Parliament.
We'll not even get here.
Okay.
We'll not even get here.
Doc, let me come to you. Is this a bill we need?
Obviously, we need it.
I mean, is this a law we need?
Yes, it is.
We can't deal with this without, criminalizing it.
So my view is that for purposes of politics, right, we need to make it clear. I mean, if you go to my hometown, Asante Achimekutiase, I don't think that the chief, who is a custodian of the culture, will sit down for a man to marry a man, for a woman to say that I've married a woman. He wouldn't allow. Nana Bediakun will not allow that, all right, because it is against our culture. I think that when you read the statement that the president puts out there, the key issues, one, has to do with the democratic process, right? Now the president is talking about the fact that the bill, which has been reintroduced to Parliament as a result of its expiration, okay, should go through the necessary legislative processes. It is good that it goes through that kind of legislative processes. I remember in 2024, these same legislative processes prevented Nana Akufo-Addo from assenting to it. I remember at a point in time, he was on the point of sending the bill back to Parliament for certain corrections to be made before it gets to him. I'm not a lawyer, but I think I read something like that. And I didn't know.
How did it did not get to him. How did you send it back to him?
I heard it got to his table.
It's not true.
It didn't get
It did not.
Okay.
A scientific wrote explicitly that don't bring it here.
Once it didn't get to him, what it means is that it didn't also travel the full length of the legislative processes. All right. But again, when you listen to the campaign messages that were coming up, we were made to know that Nana Akufo-Addo was actually refusing to sign. Okay. For me, I think that what Ghanaians are looking for is that if President Mahama and the NDC government is interested in passing this bill, the legislative processes that we are referring to here, should be facilitated to get this bill passed into law. All right? Because, you see, for me, anytime I think about this LGBTQ plus issue, I get a bit emotional about it.
Why though?
That is me.
But what about it?
My Christian principles. That's why I was trying to ask Hobson in the assembly that he attends.
Okay.
All right. You see, as a Christian, I believe in nature. I believe in God's ordained principles and not something that man has sat somewhere, to push it as a human right thing. I mean, the respect for creation and procreation is what makes me believe that this whole thing, is something else.
Not passing this bill into law, does it limit procreation?
So if you don't pass it into law, it limits it. Because now an individual who has been created in the image of God to conceive for 9 months and to give birth for 9 months says that I won't do it. Secondly, okay, so even if birth is a choice, isn't it? It's a choice. But then, if you are going to use, there's a term, is it uncanny sex knowledge? All right? To do this, my question is that, does it, reflect the purposes of God and all that? No, I don't think so. So, for me, this whole idea is a no-no for me.
Okay.
Now, when we did a study on the 2024 elections, right, it actually conformed to what happened in the US. Religion was a key thing, that actually decided or was part of the variables that decided the 2024 election. And on a more serious note, that religious votes went in favor of the NDC. Why? Because of this particular LGBTQ plus bill. All right. And, in the US, that is how the Trump campaign team branded the Kamala Harris campaign messages. All right. And it affected them. So for me, I feel that, look, the president should facilitate it if he's interested.
Okay.
If what he said during his campaign is anything to go by,
then he should just facilitate.
It is our expectation. My second issue has.
Look, let me go to Kojo.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just
today you have taken full control. Is it because our wife is not here?
In fact, I have a special bias to you because you are the non-politician here. I'm the only person I have to depend on because you are giving me research-based, information. But I seem to be giving you a lot more time. Let me hear Kojo.
Well, look, Hobson, I don't know whether he's now Victor Smith. Victor Smith, Rollins' former aide to Rollins, Victor Smith.
Okay.
Back in the day when His Excellency John Jerry was alive, may God rest his soul, Jerry will say something, will boom, and then Victor Smith will come and say, no, that's not what he meant. Victor Smith will now tell us a different variation of what we all heard, right? For so many years. I don't know where the beautiful gentleman is. Is he around?
He's an ambassador.
He's an ambassador Victor Smith.
Yeah.
He's around?
US.
Okay. Good morning to sir. He was perfect at when Rollins booms, Victor Smith will come and tell us that what we heard is not what we heard.
No, that's not.
Bro, I'm speaking.
Maybe in cabinet, what they agreed for him to say is not what
he was former president. He was former president. It wasn't cabinet matter. He was former president. He was aide to former President Rollins.
Okay.
And every time, spokesperson, Rollins says something, Victor Smith will come and tell us a different variation. That's what Hobson is doing. We all heard President John Mahama speak. Hobson is trying to tell us that what we all heard the president say is not what he said. And Hobson is giving us a variation. Hobson, please. Hobson is giving us a variation of what President Mahama said. Let's see this. Look. Hobson said something very, 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 and I want to underline that. He says the force with which the 8th Parliament pursued this. Remember, it was a private member's bill championed by who? George.
In Team for George.
No, please. Sam George.
And in Team for
Sam George.
They were the
champion. Hold on. Sam George championed this thing. Sam George actually went to an event in East Africa. Became a global issue when the sponsors were now not comfortable and made a public statement to dissociate themselves from the utterances of Sam George at that event in East Africa. Right? Sam George was the champion of LGBTQ. Today, if the president says that what was passed in Parliament, what was passed, bro, I'm not helping what argument am I not having?
Single Sam George.
Because Sam George singled himself. Please, Sam George singled himself. I did not single Sam George. Sam George became Mr. Anti-LGBTQ. Go online now and Google Sam George.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. So please, no, please. Tim Fojo is a pastor. By virtue of what he is, he is against it 100%. So let's leave out the other one who is now flip-flopping. But will you let me make my submission, my brother?
He was a sponsor.
Now, the president told us that because it was a private member's bill, it needs to be looked at by the Attorney General, reshaped and presented to Parliament as a government-sponsored bill. Because you cannot really, he doesn't want to go that way where it was a private. The president said it. We can play that tape. Yes, he said the president. The president John Mahama said that because it was a private member's bill, we need to look at it and do it again. It is in their manifesto. In fact, it was one of the first things that everybody, and good morning, sir. I want to greet Dr. Mahmoud Baumia this morning. Sir, if you're watching, welcome to Ghana, and we hope you are back rejuvenated.
You sound so humble all of a sudden.
Yes, because I'm greeting my boss.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
And
But in the previous government as well, the Attorney General has also looked at the draft, right?
The private bill. I don't think so. I don't know. I can be corrected, but I don't know if it was looked at. But when we have to go away, when we have to go around to campaign with Dr. Baumia, it was so intense that an effort had to be made so that doctor has to speak purposely on that. Because the NDC wanted to make it look like, oh, Dr. Baumia is for LGBT. So Dr. Baumia has to always make a force, like, don't even mix it with words, right? Let everybody stay their grounds. And we also,
what was his ground?
Like, he's against it. 100% against it.
Against the passing of
no, he wants that bill passed, and he had always said that if he's president, he would not be doing all this somersaulting President Mahama is doing. He would do it and sign it 100%.
But to be fair, has the president somersaulted? The bill is not.
The president has not given the same input, the same effort, the same whatever. You remember his speech where all the pastors got up and started jubilating. You've seen it on social media. President Mahama gave a speech. At the end of the speech, all the pastors got up, all the prominent pastors, which my brother says,
was it about the bill? Was it about LGBT?
Yes, President made a speech about LGBT, and the effort, the punch, everything he put in that speech. At the end of it, every pastor, those pastors who Hobson today is saying that they are not wearing their sword, all of them got up and jubilated.
But the only time we can measure him by the speech he delivered and the jubilation is when he's on the table and doesn't sign.
But the point is that he is in charge of the arm of government that is to prepare the bill and present to Parliament.
You mean the executive?
Yes.
The Attorney General?
Yes. If the president calls the Attorney General today and says that, look, by next week, let the LGBTQ bill be in Parliament, it will be in Parliament. Do you know how many certificate of urgency this NDC government have used in Parliament? They have used a recorded...
With that statement.
Bro, but the president controls the Attorney General.
Let him go.
How?
Hold on. The president doesn't control. The Attorney General...
Traffic members day and you say president should
not a private... No.
He's asking that it shouldn't be a private member.
No, yes, the president said
should be a government sponsor.
Yes. President Mahama said it himself that it should no longer be a private member's bill.
It should be a government-sponsored. This I agree.
Bill. He said it.
The bill is in Parliament.
Oh, my brother.
Signed by private members.
Bro,
I agree.
So what are you talking about?
What you are not getting the point I'm using.
Yes. I agree.
I am saying that the president
and I agree with this. The president said it should be a government-sponsored bill.
It should be a government bill. It should no longer be a private member's bill.
So if he has said, this, what can he do?
What can he do?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know how things go to Parliament?
Of course.
Okay, so cabinet has to sit on it. It now has to have a cabinet memo. Then either two ways. It can be an executive authority where the president can give executive approval without having to go to cabinet immediately and tabled in cabinet later because of the urgency. The president can give executive approval. Then straight away it is tabled in the session, a plenary session in Parliament. And with the history the NDC have taught us, they can pass it within 24 hours under certificate of urgency. So in fact, if the president wants this thing done, in less than a week, we'll have the bill. In less than a week, right? So nobody is talking about private members' bill because we all, you see me, because I run, right, to be the leader of the MPP and contest the office of the high office of this country. I respect that office a lot. The office of the presidency, when the president speaks, I take it as gospel. The president said that it should no longer be a private member's bill. So anything in Parliament as private member's bill, please, for me, it's not the effort of the NDC. Maybe the NPP, the supermajority, is seeing that they are wasting time. They also want to bring something up in Parliament so that we will now see if it comes, the same effort of the fourth Parliament will be. But you see, he made a statement and said today, if you put the two parties aside, you will see who has what.
Yeah.
All these utterances doesn't help the conversation.
President Mahama,
you see, there are issues in the case that we, the MPP, have made a case. And like I said, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had to categorically make this statement all the time. Everywhere we go, 276 constituencies, every time we meet the clergy, meet the traditional leaders, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was categoric.
He made it once.
Right? Now,
throughout his campaign,
my brother, please.
He spoke about LGBT once.
Hobson.
Don't sit here and lie.
Is it the number of times or the position the person?
I am saying that he made that statement once.
Okay. Let me even agree with you.
Yes.
That doctor made it once.
Yes.
Right? But he didn't get the applause that the pastors gave Don Mahama.
They didn't meet the
Don Mahama applause.
But was he speaking to the clergy?
The clergy, yes.
But was he speaking to the clergy? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes. No, Dr. Bawumia, yes. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia spoke. Listen, you know, in the 2024 election, Doctor had 2 rounds of campaign. We met every single clergy in Ghana. Every single clergy.
I'm talking about when he made this comment.
Yes, every time he made a clergy.
And they didn't clap for him.
Oh, they will clap. But the clap that John Mahama got, you know, the intensity of the clap. No, my brother. Oh, listen, can we play that video? It's on social media. No, but you will see Reverend Crunchy, all the big pastors got up and...
Which Reverend?
Sam Crunchy. You mean Reverend Sam Crunchy?
Sam Crunchy, sorry, Reverend Sam Crunchy. All those big pastors.
They clap for Mahama.
Listen, they were like...
Let me come to Wanda. It's okay. It's okay. Land here. Let me go to Wanda. It's okay.
I will support you.
It's okay.
We play the tape. Let my brother continue. I'm looking for the tape for. I'm looking for the tape, so we'll play the tape.
Wanda. On the corridors of power, what is really preventing this bill from just seeing through daylight? What is it?
Let me try to put 1 or 2 things in perspective. First and foremost, the NDC is not, or the government is not running away from the responsibility of signing this bill. As a matter of fact, why are we where we are today? That's what is very key to us. You know, I hear certain comparisons and I'm worried because Akufo-Addo was in government for 8 years. We were talking about this LGBTQ in his 8th year in government. So he didn't find it expedient from year 1 all the way to the 8th year when he was even ready to exit, and this comes up and then he's gone, and then we are told that, oh, that is what was a topical issue in the last election. The last election was not all about LGBTQ. LGBTQ, there were antecedents. The Vice President of America came to this country, sat in our Flagstaff House, right in the face of the President of the Republic at the time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. and told him how that we have to start promoting, if as it were, or accepting gay and lesbian instincts within our corridors. What did Akufo-Addo say? What was his response? It was based on those things that we saw. Because in 2021, some 21 Ghanaians were arrested as LGBTQ. They were actually taken to court, and the case was even thrown out or something of the sort. Then that was in 2021. Then by 2024, this private members bill thing came up. Now, today the NPP seems to be making so much noise, right? The NDC, passing the bill and all that. It is actually the lameness of the opposition we have that is brought us where we are.
How so?
In the last parliament, when this happened, it was led by opposition party members, largely.
That?
In fact, it came to a point we had to force the NPP to make a position known on the LGBTQ because they were not even joining the debate. They were not even interested. Some even walked out of parliament on the day when we were passing it. But eventually they put themselves together. A couple of them came and said they are also part. That's when Fojo even came into the bigger picture. But largely it was led by the opposition. So if you have an opposition today that is sitting on their horses, that is not ready to do the real job of putting government on these toes, and then you are in studios complaining, and they haven't signed the bill, haven't signed the bill. What attempt have you made? At least it is clear that in opposition, the president said, once the bill gets to his table, you sign it. And he still stands by that. Why he responded or said what he said to the civil society groups was that the thing was not even on his table. It wasn't even there at the moment. And he actually said, no, it shouldn't even just be by private members' bill. Government itself wants to take a center stage in this matter. Who has lost more when it comes to LGBTQ than President John Dramani Mahama? Okay. In fact, you remember even in 2012, in the last elections, this guy who wrote a book that John Mahama attended an event, and they actually photographed President Mahama in bed with
But you agree that because of the lead up to the campaign, 2024 campaign, there are expectations.
This is 2020.
But I'm saying that, far from that. Coming back to the letter.
Yes.
So you agree that there are expectations?
There are expectations. I'm saying that
and you agree that the measure of this expectation is high?
I agree, and I'm saying that the one who suffered the most when it comes to, tagging the person with the gay.
Okay.
Yes.
It became a campaign issue because the bill was passed and the president was reluctant to assent to it. That's how it became a campaign issue.
Okay.
I don't know that. I don't think
our time is up.
No.
I know.
These criticisms are unfounded. Even way back in President Moses' time, they had actually said one of them was on live TV and said President Moses was this and that and that and all that. That didn't even trigger them for the 8 years in government to wake up and realize that they were supposed to pass this bill. The bill currently is in Parliament. It has gone to one first reading already. I don't know the next stage when it comes to maybe the considerations, if things will change or progress with it. So it is their lameness, it is their laziness, it is their inability to manage themselves. That is what brought us here. After all, in the last parliament, opposition party members did it. Go and do it. And then we can be saying that President Mahama is running away from his responsibility as signing. He is not, and he will not. Once the bill gets to his table, President Mahama will sign it for...
Gentlemen, unfortunately, my time is up.
Women rights advocates.
Yeah, who?
Tell them, those who advocate for women rights, tell them they are the cause of some of these things. Look.
Okay.
Go
I bet they're watching it.
Go and then arrest someone that, we've seen that you are practicing this. Let them arrest them. And then you see these human rights people, what they will do in this country.
But of course, the punishments cannot be outside of what the Constitution would provide. We must respect human rights as well. You agree? When you criminalize it, you cannot punish them outside of what's...
Let's say you see a boy...
What would you do?
A boy...
What would you do?
Sleeping with a goat. What will you do? If you are standing there, what will you do? You see
who killed the goats? Who killed the goats?
Have you ever seen somebody doing something before?
Who killed the goats?
No, hold on. Have you ever seen somebody doing something before?
Anyway.
No, you are saying that if you see a boy sleeping with a goat, have you ever seen anything before?
I'm saying that.
Thank you so much. Dr. Bernard Tutu Boahini is lecturer in political marketing at the University of Education. Winneba Kujupoku is executive director. Unfortunately, I'll take the closing remarks next week. I'm going to Ajani Kotoku, where there's some chaos over there. My colleague is there, that's why, and that's a very important story for me. I am on the same page with you, honestly. This is all Kingsley's fault, don't mind me. Kojo Poko, Executive Director of INSTEP and member of the NPP Communications Directorate, and Mr. Hobson Adoy is Director of Field Operations for the United Party, and Wanda Madilo is Development Analyst and member of the NDC Communications team. I know that I crash landed. This is because I have to take you to Ajin Kotoku after this quick break. There's some chaos in the onion markets. My colleague will bring us an update. Please stay after this. On the AM show, thank you for staying. And I'll take you to Ajin Kotoku. You may have seen that chaos broke in the onion market located at Ajin Kotoku. And this morning, my colleague Adibia Sari is on ground to report to us exactly what happened and what's been happening this morning. Adibia, if you can help me, if you can hear me, let me know what's happening in the market.
The traders have been speaking to saying the confrontation was triggered by what they describe as a growing attempt by foreign traders to take control of the onion business. Now, the situation they are saying is their livelihoods. So, while business activities have resumed this morning, foreign traders are also
Well, calm has returned here at the Ajin Kotoku onion market, but the atmosphere remains a bit tense. That's a day after a violent clash between Ghanaian traders and some foreign nationals. Well, the traders have been speaking to say the confrontation was triggered by what they are describing as a growing attempt by foreign traders to take control of the entire onion business here. Now, they're saying the situation is deeply affecting their livelihoods. So while business activities have resumed this morning, many Ghanaian traders tell me they are still shaken by what happened yesterday, and they are concerned about what will happen next. However, leaders are in talks at the moment as we speak. So when I came, most of the leaders here at the onion market are not around. They are at various places. I'm told at the district police station, among other places, trying to make sure everything goes back to normal. Now, they are actually calling on authorities. Those I spoke to earlier are calling on authorities to step in and enforce existing trading regulations. That is to prevent further clashes and ensure that there's fairness in the market, so that foreign nationals will not take over. I'm here with an onion trader who's been in the business for about 11 years. I was speaking to him earlier, and then he's actually willing to talk to us. So, Mohammed, welcome on JoyNews. How are you doing?
Good morning. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Before we discuss about your livelihood and everything, can you kindly tell us what really happened yesterday? Take us back a bit. I've heard a number of reports, but tell us from your account, what happened yesterday?
It was a misunderstanding, that excuse between the our Ghanaian counterparts and our Nigerian counterparts at the other section.
What caused that misunderstanding?
Oh, it's about our trade. That is, the Nigerians are trying to take over our market with inferior goods and lower prices, making us running out of business.
So I do know that you import from Burkina Faso, Niger, and Nigeria. Are you having troubles with these two, or are you having troubles with the other two, or it's just Nigerians for now?
It's only Nigerians that we have trouble.
So you're not having problems with Burkina Faso, Niger?
At all, not at all.
How much is this particular sack of onions going for?
A sack of onions goes between 600 to 1,000 cedis, depending on the quality of the onion.
Okay, and how much are your Nigerian counterparts selling this?
Oh, they have inferior goods that they can sell as much as 400, 500.
When you say inferior goods, what do you mean? I know it takes a lot for you to bring your onions here. You did tell me earlier that going there, transportation, the taxes they take and all of that. In fact, you're not even allowed to purchase the onions by yourself. You have to give it to someone, a Nigerian counterpart. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Before you get an onions from Nigeria, you have to send money to the Nigerian counterparts to give you onions for you to be able to sell.
And then what's the process like? Run me through it a little bit.
Yeah, the process, you call, you make sure you get an agent over there, then you call the agent. The agent is like, he is having there and he will sell it to you. Then he will tell you the price, the cost involved, everything, and you calculate and know the total per bag. That's the workmanship, everything, unloading, what car will take per bag. Then you will also calculate and think when the goods come, how much you also sell, and then you put your profit margin. Before you calculate, and the truck takes about 300 to 400 per truck. So you calculate and send the money to the Nigerian, and the Nigerian will buy and let the goods come in.
Okay, hold on for me. I'll come back to you. So he's telling me about the process of getting the onions here in Ghana. Now, I had with me one of the elders, that's the leadership of the Onion Market Traders Association, but he's moved out of here a little bit. But engaging him earlier, he did tell me that these foreigners have actually infiltrated the place and are gradually dominating, which is giving them problems. Now, they were given a number of trucks, which are supposed to come here per week, which was 20. But then they got to notice that they will be bringing more than 20 in a week. So in a day, they can bring about 12 trucks when they're actually supposed to be bringing 20 in a week. So it was causing a whole lot of problems. And so what caused the clash actually yesterday was that their trucks were in and the leadership here prevented them from offloading. And so they started fighting. They attacked first. They did attack.
It's like what your reporter said. We have a number of cars that are supposed to come per week, but we realize that the number of cars coming is far more, about 3 times the number we expecting. So we decided to take action. That is stopping the cars from offloading. By so doing, the Nigerian called their Nigerian counterparts back at Nigeria to tell them that we've stopped them from offloading their goods. They too take a decision by stopping our cars, our trucks over there from coming. As I'm speaking to you, we'll have about 70 trucks on Nigeria stopping. The goods are there for about a week.
And these are perishable goods.
These are perishable goods. It's not easy. This is people's livelihood. This is people's properties. It takes about 1 week, 2 weeks now, and the goods are there. So, and you bring your own is coming, you are coming to offload. So what do you, so we try stopping them, they should pack their own and call their counterpart back there. When they allow ours to move, to start moving, we allow them to also offload.
So what caused the clash? Who started?
Yes, by this, it did not order well with them, and they forcefully want to offload their goods, and we try stopping them. They also take an action by fighting, hitting us with sticks, everything. A lot of people were injured yesterday.
Now let me come to you personally, and then I'm sure you speak for the rest of your colleagues here. How is this affecting your life?
It's not easy. It's not easy. This is the business we do to take care of our families, children, wives, and old men are back at home. So it's not easy. Assuming you come to work and you can't sell even a bag, it's not easy. It's really affecting us.
So what interventions would you want for the government to probably do to make sure that some of these things are controlled?
It's two ways. The government should enforce the law. The government should help us to enforce the law that Nigerians or foreigners are not allowed to do this retail business in Ghana. So when they bring their goods, they should give it to us to sell for them on commission basis, and we will take our commission. Or we will regulate and give them a number of cars that they are supposed to bring.
But that's what you've done. You've actually given them a number of cars, but they're not listening.
Then we need the help of the government to stop this whoever every day fighting here and there, which will not help us.
But apart from that, today, how's the atmosphere like over here? Are you seeing your customers, or because of what happened yesterday, they are afraid to?
The atmosphere is very calm because the women heard of what happened yesterday, because they are finding it very reluctant to come to the market to buy. So you can see the places used to be choked than this, but today we are getting less numbers.
And I think I can attest to that because I have been here before on a regular market day with my mom, and you see a number of traders here bargaining, selling, carrying their goods, asking head porters to carry goods. But today it's a bit empty. You don't see so many people here. Of course, there are some traders here. Some have engaged earlier. They're just not willing to speak to us on camera. But they're not as many as you would see on a regular day, and that's troubling. So these traders here want to inform the public that it's calm here today, so they can actually come and buy onions from them. And that talks are ongoing for some of these issues to be resolved. Now, aside from the government intervening, let me ask you a personal question. I know you are very intelligent. Do you think, are we definitely we are important because we cannot feed our own selves? What are some of the things that we can do to make sure all these things will come to an end slowly?
So governments should take a decision to have the farmers back at the north, so that Ghana, we can also cultivate our own onion and have the numbers so that we can feed ourselves, than going to some one country to import and a whole lot of problems here and there, making the whole thing very expensive for the market women and even the consumers themselves.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we don't have the leader here. Okay, before I come to you, MFA, a minute before I come to you, the leader has just joined me. Mr. Amudu, please join me here. Please come. Okay, let me just join him and sit. How was the markets today, and what would you tell you? Okay, speak to you.
I'm not some kitty but ye gusu solve until by end of the day no. It was over we are necessarily a community of a Greek. The almost a yambra honti and a cohon man pay 9 o'clock. It was over Samasa.
Yeah, that's
be away to about dinner.
Yeah, that's a part. So he's one of the elders here, Mr. Amidu. He says calm has been restored here. Traders can come and buy their onions from them because talks are ongoing to solve this misunderstanding. So MFR, back to you in the studio. This is the situation here at Ajin Kotoku.
All right, Adobia, thank you so much. At least now you know there's calm is restored at the Ajin Kotoku onion markets. We know that wasn't where they were located. Some time ago, they relocated from the Agbogbloshie market to that place, and there's been some clashes every now and then, and this is quite the recent one. But we'll be following this conversation and we're bringing you updates. For now, you can go to the market and shop your onions. But joining me in studio to have some conversations or some discussion on some topical issues is Dennis Miracles Abuaji. His team lead for the People's Forum, and as well, you know that he's been quite active with the Dr. Baumia camp. And Miracles, I know that I've seen you this year. I hope you've been well. Quite recently...
Yes, we've been good.
Okay, quite recently, Dr. Baumia delivered a speech on AI.
Yes, at the London School of Economics.
Yeah.
Well, how it can help, especially African economies, to leapfrog into the future.
Yeah. Prior to that, what has he been up to?
Well, right after 31st January, after the primaries, basically engaging the party and stakeholders, a lot of visits here and there. He spent about 3 weeks to about a month, doing some quick internal engagement with a lot of people coming around. Then afterwards, he took a break.
Okay.
He took a break. at the end of that break was the engagement he had with the London School of Economics. So over this weekend, he returned to the country.
Okay.
So he's back since Saturday.
Does this mean that he has resumed his public engagement, his off the break, or this was just one of those?
The break is over. He never went off public engagement.
Okay.
I mean, since we lost the 2024 elections, he's been part of the conversations. He's been part of the public discussions. So we basically continue our restructuring, reorganization. We concluded our membership registration, the first phase, on 31st March. We have a couple of other activities that are continuing. The polling station elections are coming up, then constituency, the region, then the national elections. This should run up to about 12 September. And then we would have our full complement of the party's, should I say, reorganization. And then we ready ourselves for the...
How did the registration go? And I asked this because of the recent data from the Global Info Analytics suggesting that it looks like more people seem to be wanting to affiliate themselves with the NDC and not with the MPP. Is this showing in the data since the registration?
I mean, you know my position on Global. There's no credibility when it comes to Global.
Oh, but he predicted Dr. Bawumia was going to win.
Lots of people predicted. I predicted Dr. Bawumia was going to win, didn't I? It doesn't mean that whatever he says. So, I mean, a lot of people predicted. As for prediction, people do.
Also, he's not somebody, you don't take his data seriously.
No, everybody knows the position on him in this country. I think it's just about conjecturing, it's extrapolations. It's not, people predict, you understand? Even, like I say, he's like a lotto doctor.
But he uses data. He uses numbers.
Which data? Which numbers? Every morning he wakes up, based on his emotions and how he feels about something, then he says, even me, when I disagreed with him on specific issues, the next day he came up with a pulling about me. You understand? He did, actually, surprisingly. So, I mean, my position on him is public. He predicted Ayawaso East, and he lost miserably. And you realize that when he came back trying to justify it, all about emotions, because he feels that once he predicts, he must win. And then he came back trying to make it look like, it didn't happen because Nkosi Meko, and that, how can you tell me that your prediction didn't happen because of Nkosi Meko and TVs and all of that? So
the registration,
so let's put that aside. He's doing his work. Recently, there are some allegations about him and all of that. He's just doing his work. For him, it's business. He has an office, he has a team, he must maintain them and all of that. So let's put that aside. Our business, the MPP has been in existence since 1992. In fact, we've lost elections and won elections. In fact, the 9 elections this country has seen in our 4th democratic republic since 1992, NDC has won 5, MPP has won 4. So in realism, it's not as if there's a certain huge difference between NDC and MPP that all of a sudden, because MPP lost 1 elections, all of a sudden, you wake up in the morning and you see to come up with some voodoo analysis. Listen, in 2016, when the NDC lost elections by close to 1 million votes, it was unprecedented, isn't it? A lot of people said NDC had collapsed. It would never resurrect. It was all over. If you go and check the receipts online, until 8 years later, they came back to win with a bigger margin than even they lost before.
Yeah.
So these are things that when I hear, I laugh over them. Our job as a party is to get back to basics like we're doing. We are reorganizing from scratch. 1 polling station at a time. 1 Ghanaian at a time. Engaging people at various levels and giving them very good reasons. Nobody wakes up in the morning and say, I am joining NDC or I'm joining MPP.
It's a process,
Yeah, it's a process. And people will go to the polls based on things that are very important to them. You understand? So this whole attempt by this guy wakes up in the morning thinking that it does nothing. Trust me. It's not the reason why MPP lost an election. He is not. He can't be. And it won't be the reason why MPP would win or lose another elections. The Ghanaian people will go to the polls and vote based on things that matter most to them. But based on the alternatives available to them in terms of solutions to the challenges of this country.
But at least, you don't take his data seriously. What do you say to the Ghanaian people or your party members, but for lack of better words, will say are quite gullible and would accept his data?
No, Ghanaian, it is very erroneous. It's a very wrong, conclusion if you think that the Ghanaian voter is gullible. I'm telling you, it's not. Listen, If you go to my community in Latte, okay, they have reasons and basis to vote. Somebody is going to vote because today his child is in Presec, something that he could never have dreamt of. Okay, somebody is going to vote because we are getting our roads. Somebody is going to vote because we are getting water. If you go to a particular community, the only reason why he's going to vote is because for 50 years, he's never seen water, and for the first time, he's seen it. There's a family who has never had anybody get out of that family to become, for lack of better words, somebody. Today, probably the child is in the university or is in the college because of either NDC or an MPP, and that's from the basis of their voting. Somebody has completed training college, nursing or teacher training college, hasn't been employed, is going to inform his decision. You think that the teacher that is owed 14 months of salary by this government will go and queue and go and vote for the government? No. So these are bases and reasons why people vote. So for you to sit and think that the Ghanaian voter is gullible, it actually shows how gullible you are. Because the Ghanaian voter sophistication right now, Ebefa, it's wild that you don't have to play and downplay it at all. So we are very focused on that. We are mindful of that fact. And that is why our restructuring has been very quiet and very focused. If you go to the polling station, you have an album of an average of about 500 voters. We're keeping our eyes on those things.
After the restructuring, the internal restructuring, what kind of NPP will we see? Will we see anything different?
Well, I mean, every organization evolves. So surely, every organization evolves. You're going to be informed by things of the past, things of present, and the outlook. So surely you're not going to see the same organization that you used to see maybe in 2023 or 2024. It is going to be an organization that is shaped by input by the people themselves. It's a mass political party. It's a mass organization. And so the aspirations and ideals of the people would inform and form what will become afterwards. And that's what we are working towards. We believe that we provide the most credible alternative to the challenges of this country, albeit we are not perfect. But if you pick sector by sector across the country, tell me, which aspect of our country will this NDC government beat us? Mention any legacy developmental performance or anything you have in this country that is not of the MPP's talking. What do you have on top of your mind that you say this is life-changing for the Ghanaian person and it's from the NDC? Mention one. Go to the health sector. The single most important policy that deals with our fundamentals of our health system, national health insurance, is by the MPP. Go to the education sector, from the basic school to the secondary school, all the transformations by the MPP. Kufuor was the one that came to this country and removed Anopani area. Do you know Anopani area? Kufuor was the one that realized that the reason why the Ghanaian child was dropping out of school by year 4, year 5 was because of poverty. So he made F-cube a reality at the basic school and made sure that every Ghanaian child goes to school without money being a hindrance. And that was resolved. Even afterwards, he realized that beyond paying the fees for the kids, people could not even afford food, for which reason it is free, but they were still not going. The MPP government brought school feeding, and it doubled and tripled enrollment at the basic school. Secondary school education, the same MPP came and we made it free. Do you know LEAP? Livelihood Against Poverty program that takes care of extreme poor people by providing them with some quarterly and monthly stipends is the MPP. So mention, just go ahead, you go to sector by sector and tell me, when the MPP came to office in 2017, we realized that this country's emergency system was broken and dead and gone. Today, this country's emergency system, at least if you compare it to where it was 8 years ago, is highly elevated by the ambulances that were introduced in this country. The MPP. When the MPP realized after COVID that there was a huge gap when it comes to our health system, that we had about 88 or so districts that did not have district hospitals, what did we do? We put in an intervention to ensure that we fix that gap and fix it once and for all. Every monumental developmental agenda that this country has pursued is by the MPP. And that is what we believe, and that's what we are selling to the Ghanaian people, that every government will have its downsides. Every government will have its challenges. But we need to look at a government that doesn't deliver mediocre. The government that delivers lasting solutions and life-changing solutions to every Ghanaian everywhere. That is the MPP. And those are the things we are riding on in our reorganization. And we are taking this one at a time, engaging the Ghanaian voter everywhere before.
We'll go to the People's Forum, but quickly, before I move away from Dr. Bawumia, how soon or later is he likely to announce his running mate?
Oh, we are not there yet.
You're not there?
No,
but you'd get there soon, yeah? Like it's in a year, 2,
No, we are not there yet. That's all.
Can I get some bidwo?
Yeah, but you do it. What they say, do it.
Say it will be part of the internal restructure.
Yeah, but we're not. No, we are not. It's probably the last thing on the.
I recall last year, we're going to start a conversation on Dr. Bawumia. He said that we're not there. When I blinked my eye and I came, you were in this seat talking about it. When I blink again, you'll be here with the running mates. Okay. I see that you've been quite active with the People's Forum. Tell me about it, first of all. What is it about?
So I mean, we of the view that the kind of governance system we've chosen for ourselves as a country is a very good one. It's a very interesting one. That you say, I say, I share ideas, you share yours, we put it together, and we make progress. That even though we are at opposite ends and we're trying to develop this country, it doesn't stop us from engaging. Now, the People's Forum is the people's movement. It's the mass movement. It is a platform where we aggregate the views of the people, let the people have that platform to air their views and vent and share their opinions, and then we put it together and give it to government for government to action on. Basically, that's what the People's Forum is about. And so ours is to go out there, we engage the people, listen, hear them, amplify their voices, and then it gets government's attention. And so far, it's been quite a great experience.
I see that you have authored about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say 4 to 5 pages. The 5th one will be appendix, giving references. You have authored some demands to the Ministry of Finance. What has triggered these demands? You title it as well, the urgent call for suspension and abolition of selected fuel levies to provide relief to Ghanaians.
So you know, since December, the People's Forum has been talking about the high cost of living. The truth of the matter is that the Ghanaian today is worse off in terms of their cost of living than they were in 2024. It's the data. There's no lie about that. And when the People's Forum brought this up in December 2025, there was a pushback by the government and its assigns that it's not true. Dollar has come down, inflation has come down, fuel has come down. And we told them that is true. Dollar has actually come down, fuel has come down, and inflation has come down. But there's a disconnect, and we're only drawing the government's attention to that disconnect because he may not have realized that. Listen, why is it that for the first time in this country we see all these macroeconomic indicators improving drastically, massively, and yet it's not reflecting in our lives? There is a problem. Can you look at it? The government pushed back, and the government said all manner of things. Today, the reality is hitting us, MFA. If I go to the market, go to Tiptoe Loan here, and go and ask them, they'll tell you, they cannot afford electricity, they cannot afford water. These days, when you are walking on the street, when you are taking your morning walk, you pay close attention, remove your headphones. You hear every household, their meter beeping. Why? Because people can't just afford it. That in 12 months, you have a government that increases electricity by 24%, MFA. 24%. Then you have water increase by 15%. And those are the things that we've been speaking about and talking about all this while. Fast forward, we wake up one morning and we see fuel prices also soaring high. Remember, there were 3 things the government has been touting: fuel price coming down, inflation coming down, and then the dollar coming down. So we're asking ourselves, you told us that the economy has taken a complete shift and that you have fixed the economy, that aban papaba, and that the previous government was terrible and that you, in 12 months, you fix everything. How is it that the fuel prices are going up? The government still hasn't been able to give us an answer to that. And yet, we are seeing the effect, the dark consequences of this high cost of fuel. This morning, as we speak, transport fares have gone up. So somebody asks you, if I am somebody that moves from Accra to Kumasi before, and
the GPRT said they were going to meet with the transport ministry before the increase. That would be illegal then.
It's not. What is illegal? We are in a free market.
I understand.
You are free not to sit in my bus. It's a free market. You are free not to sit in my bus if you think it's expensive. But I have to run a business. I have to be able to maintain my buses. I have to be able to afford fuel. I have to be able to pay my overheads. The truth of the matter is that for the person that travels from Accra to Kumasi or Kumasi to Accra, quite often, he has been betrayed by this government. Why? You came to tell me that as of 2024, I was paying 95 cedis to 100 Ghana cedis from Accra to Kumasi. And you, this NDC government, you came to tell me that the government then was wicked and that it was too expensive. I should vote for you. When I vote for you, you relieve me of that burden and make it more affordable. Then you've moved it to 120 Ghana cedis. Now, if I listen to this very interesting analogy. An economy that had inflation at 23%, fuel at 14 cedis, dollar at 14 cedis, is giving me transport cost of 100 cedis. Then you come. You give me an economy of inflation at 3.2%, dollar at 10.9%. Fuel, of course, now that one has taken care of itself, close to 17 cedis for diesel. Which economy do you think is best? You are telling me that this economy is better than 2024, and yet I am paying more now than I was paying in 2024.
I mean, because you reference the inflation, I think that what they seek to say is that even if the cost of fuel is nearly 17%, the 3.2, at least you can plan your life around it. You know that it's 17 today, but tomorrow you wake up to know that it is increased rapidly.
What is the sense in that?
I mean, if you know that at least cost of things should always be there, but at least...
Who has known that in the past three weeks? We've always woken up in the past 3 weeks and see electricity going, fuel prices going up. So what is the meaning of that? All I care is that I can afford. So what are you talking about?
Well, the cost of fuel has not got anything to do with the global prices.
Which global prices? We thought that was the case, but this government told us that wasn't the case. So why are you bringing it up? We thought that was the case, didn't we? We thought that was the case, but you and I were told that that is not the case.
So what has changed for you today? If it was the case before.
Complete mismanagement of the economy is the reason why we are seeing the fallout where it was. Is that not what they told?
Are you saying this because this is a factor? This is politics.
It is because I'm convinced by what they said.
What about you?
Because I thought otherwise. But they convinced me, and the lot of Ghanaians believed in them, and the majority carries the vote, isn't it? I cannot be wiser than the majority. So the majority actually believe in them. Complete mismanagement. Let me tell you, the level of mismanagement in this economy, you have no idea.
Tell me.
See, you have an economy where the people in government are telling you that it is doing marvelously well. And yet, even salaries of workers cannot be paid. Does it make sense to you? Teachers have worked for 15 months, they haven't been paid. Nurses have worked for 15 months, they haven't been paid. We have hundreds of thousands of nurses and teachers at home who are unable to be employed because the economy cannot support it. Does it make sense to you? Security services are owed in months of arrears of their allowances. Does it make sense to you? Look at the number of young people on the street who cannot be employed. Unemployment has increased by at least 2 percentage points or thereabout. Does it make sense to you? So if somebody tells you that the economy is doing well, and yet you are seeing every other thing that happens to do with the realities of the lives of the people worsening, then what kind of conversation are we having? Tell me which aspect of the economy.
So you mentioned that. You mentioned that you see the macro.
Water has gone up. So even the electricity, we cannot find it.
Marcos, you mentioned that the macroeconomics good. Indicators good. But you've been drawing the government's attention to the fact that there's a disconnect.
Yes.
The government didn't agree. Let me come with you. What's this? Let me educate you on the disconnect.
So let me explain the disconnect to you, and I'm glad we're having this conversation this morning. MFA, what the government is doing is very simple. They've targeted inflation. Okay? And you see, if you target inflation only, the real sectors of the economy suffer. So this is what they have done. When you have money, you go and buy. Isn't that the case? Please follow me on this. You have money. Kingsley has money. Sami Odame has money. So the three of you are all going to buy milk. Mm-hmm. So the demand will be there. That is likely to drive inflation because everybody is buying. And when people are buying and the demand is there, especially when maybe you are unable to meet the supply side, you may have some inflation happening in the economy. The flip side of it is that if you hold money away from people, if people don't have money in their pockets, they cannot afford to buy. And if people are not buying, inflation will go down. Go and pick the government's own policy, the budget statement that they read. 2025, the government spent barely 30% of what they themselves...
projection.
Yes, the total capital expenditure they plan to spend. You know what that means? What it means is that government held on to money that would have gone into the hands of business people in this country. When the business people receive this money, they would work with it. They will pay people, they will employ people, people will make money, they will spend, the economy would do well, and inflation would likely go up. You see, inflation in itself is not a bad thing. It is not. But the government has targeted it to make sure that they artificially push it down to create a facade. Basically to have a PR advantage that, oh, we've brought inflation down. But the downside is that unemployment is being created. The downside is that production is affected. The downside is that businesses don't have money. Now, when it comes to the currency, what did they do? All they did was that the gold accumulation that this country has done, remember that as at about 2022-2023, the country's entire gold reserve from independence to then was about 8 tons. The MPP, through Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's own ingenuity, decided for us to build our gold reserves. By the time we go to December 2024, our gold reserve has been built up to about 38 tons thereabout. Now, what did this government do? They just went to the vault, opened it, took the gold, sent it abroad, sold this gold to do whatever they want to do. Now, the second leg of what they did was that they went to our forests and our river bodies and started buying gold from the galamseyers. So they take the gold from the galamseyers, go and sell it, get dollars, come and dump in the dollars in the banks so that there are abundance of dollars.
Is this what the gold board is doing, or this is what you believe it's doing?
This is what the government is doing.
Is this the government is going to the illegal mining site and buying it?
It's a
How?
matter of fact.
How?
The president himself said it. That 60% of the gold.
If the president made an analogy that.
No, he didn't make an analogy. He
says what?
Yeah, a matter of fact. He said 60% of our gold that we exported comes from small-scale mining.
Small-scale mining are not illegal mining.
Small-scale mining, according to the Minerals Commission and all studies, small-scale mining we are told that about 80 to 90% of small-scale miners are illegal miners.
But so the president has not said that.
No, but that's what he said. Oh, but
small-scale miners is so small-scale miners.
No, please don't.
And the Mineral Commission says that what 80% of
small-scale miners are illegal miners. It means that majority of your 60% of the gold are from small-scale from illegal miners. That is truth. It's the president's own words. So you go and buy this thing, and let me tell you, go to TikTok. The illegal miners, they are even protesting against the government for giving them low price for the gold.
The illegal miners.
Yes,
they are protesting that.
They have an account called Galamsey TV. It has over 2 million followers. They protest. In fact, they protested. The government reacted. There was a time that the legal miners went on strike, and they were not selling the gold to the government. Do you know what the government did? The government came back and revised the price and gave them a bonus.
How? Wait.
I'm telling you.
There was a time in this country that illegal miners went on strike.
2025.
Where will I find it?
Oh, it's online. Even the gold board owned. See, let me tell you, there was a time the gold board introduced a bonus system. You know why they introduced it? They introduced that bonus system because the illegal miners were not giving them the gold anymore. If this government stops buying illegal gold, they will not get the quantity of gold they are exporting. And that is why they continue to fester and continue to enable the galamsey that we export. We'll talk about galamsey.
Let me draw. During the MPP's regime, we still agree that illegal mining was happening. What was happening to the gold?
So you see, the point is this. If an armed robber goes to steal somebody's TV and goes to sell it anywhere, you are looking for the armed robber to arrest. It's a thief. It is not the same as the armed robber goes to sell the TV, go to steal somebody's TV and brings to you to buy. They are not the same. The illegal miners since 2010, have been stealing gold and destroying our forest bodies. Where they sell it is not a business. We are looking for them to arrest them. You understand what I'm saying? If you come and you create a formal platform to now buy from them, you are a criminal too. You are a criminal too. You don't come and tell me that, oh, but these people, if I don't buy from them, they would have sold it anyway. Then why are we chasing armed robbers? Why are we chasing armed robbers? For the president himself to even come and tell us, Emifa, that he knows that some of the people who are involved in illegal galamsey, and that he knows that his own people are involved in the galamsey, it's an indictment on him. You know the criminals, you know them, and you're not arresting them. Is it not the same president that told you and I in opposition that when he becomes president, he will go after the kingpins? Why is he announcing to us that he knows them? Why has he not arrested them? And you are telling me that, oh, because they will sell it anyway, instead of they selling it to some foreigners, let's rather buy it. What are you doing? You are mortgaging the future of this country? You are buying proceeds of crime?
Is it the same when the president says that, I kid you not, when I know that members of my party are also involved in Galamsey. Is it the same that when he says that I know the individuals?
Yes.
Is it the same?
Yes. If you know the members of your party, if you didn't know, how would you have known? If you know the members of your party are involved, why are you kidding us? Why are you not kidding us? We don't care whether you're kidding us or you're not kidding us. Why have you not stopped them? Have you seen the devastated nature of Galamsey in this country?
Have you seen what Naimas is doing?
The president says that he knows the people.
But have you seen what Naimas is doing?
Diamonds has been there since 2017.
Regardless of the type that he existed.
So what are they doing?
See what they
are they doing? Apart from
doing nothing.
What are they doing? Has Galamsey stopped?
So
has it stopped? Has it stopped?
Has this government done anything at all that you
tell me? Maybe you should tell me.
I'm asking you.
I'm not, don't know.
You are the people, so you engage.
The government has brought inflation to 3.2. Fantastic work. They have. The government has brought dollar from 14 to 10.9. Fantastic work. They have. But if you take these two things out, mention one other thing they've done. One. Take one sector. Tell me one thing that this government in their 6th year have done.
The Ministry
in their 6 years, 6 years of leading this country.
The Ministry,
tell us.
What?
In their 6 years of leading this, tell us one thing apart from.
Wait, how are you doing the math?
Which one? But Mama is doing his 6th year. You're not aware. Like if you are giving the leadership of the country and you are in your 6th year, what can you tell? See, take us back to the first 4 years. Add these 2 years. I mean, for 6 years of leadership, what can you remember him for?
Miracles, is that a fair math to do?
No, but that's a fact. It's not 6 years.
So if we do that, then we must now go back to continuity of projects. Maybe the things that he left, that the NPP now inherited.
What we know is that we've given you leadership of this country for 6 years so far. We've put the country in your hands for 6 years.
If we do that, then we may have to also start from the era of President Kufuor.
Fair enough. But we are proud of that. We are willing and ready to add everything President Kufuor today. We are proud of that. They can't beat us to that. Okay. They cannot.
Back to the calls that you have been asking. So, one, you say that the government should abolish the sanitation and pollution levy?
Yes. You remember, this levy? This government used to call it Bola levy, remember? That they tell us that we are paying for Bola levy. When they come, in fact, they said specifically when they remove the Bola levy. I'm sure you always thought they had removed it, isn't it?
I know that, in fact, they were proposing to actually.
You thought they had always
proposing a certain level, a certain amount of levy.
No,
actually.
So the Bola levy is there; it's still there, and we're asking them to remove it. We are not saying so because remove it for removing sake. We are saying that live by your words. Be people of principle. You said you don't want it. Why do you still have it there? And even now that the fuel prices are going out of the roof, it's time for you to take it off. Maybe previously we left them because, but now the fuel prices we can't afford. So remove the Bola levy that you yourself said it was needless. Remove it. That's what we are saying. So we are asking the government to remove it. We want him to remove that Bola tax because they said they didn't want it. They said it was needless. They said it wasn't important. They should remove it. We also believe that the price of fuel has a direct impact on our lives, right? And so at the moment, we are confused. We don't even know the kind of economic strategy the government is running because everything is haphazard. Everything is haywire. It's like the government is on autopilot. Because the fuel price, they came to tell us that the reason why fuel prices was going down was because they were managing the economy better. It's not what they told you.
He said at least the dollar is
but forget the dollar.
Dollar to CD.
They told you that the fuel going down was because the economy was doing better. And that they managed it better and that the previous government was clueless. Isn't that the case?
This suggests that, but for the dollar to CD level, the 17 that we're buying could have been worse.
That is the laziest analysis.
Is it?
That's the laziest analysis that anybody will make. When dollar was 14, when dollar was 14, how much were you buying the fuel? Now dollar is 10. You are buying it more. You are telling me that it means that what? The only reason why fuel prices are at where we are now is because this government is dishonest. When fuel was selling at $167 per barrel on the international market, on the international market, and this country was buying fuel at about 14 cities, 15 cities. This NDC government told us that it was as a result of MPP's mismanagement of the economy. Don't you remember? When we told them that, listen, when it comes to fuel prices, it is largely based on where you are buying your materials from. And that the price has shot from about $37 to almost about $167 per barrel.
They said they take the one Ghana cedi levy that
they said no. It's not the case, and it was as a result of mismanagement. Then you know what they did when they came to office? Because of that narration they've been pushing, the crude oil prices in the international market was coming down. As it was coming down, the fuel prices in Ghana was coming down. And then they hid behind it and said, oh, we are doing well. You see the way we are managing the economy? That is why fuel is coming down. To the extent that they told us that they are applying a 1 cedi doomsday levy on fuel. And that even if they applied a 1 cedi doomsday levy on fuel, it will still not move fuel prices anywhere. So we should agree to take it. And they added it onto the fuel price for us. Now, the international crude price have moved from $63, $67 to above $100, and then you see where the fuel prices are. So clearly, it tells you that you are not in charge of anything. The fuel prices coming down between 2025 till now had nothing to do with you and your cluelessness, but has more to do with the crude prices coming down at the time you came to office. What we are saying is that remove the bola. Secondly, remove the doomsday levy. Because you see, let me also tell you something about the doomsday levy. This government told us that the doomsday levy they were introducing MFA was for them to enable them buy fuel, isn't the case? To power our plants.
Yeah, to be able to pay for the debt that's in the power sector. No.
The primary, go and read the act. The primary object of the doomsday levy was to buy fuel to power the generators. Read the act. Now,
how can we exclude that from the debt?
Oh, debt is debt. Fuel, you have to buy it and power this thing. But that is debt. Don't forget, we even have components in the levies that goes towards paying debt. That's a different matter. The debt one is there. They told us that they were going to use it to buy fuel. Now, if you go and pick the Energy Commission's own report, it tells you that about 80% of our generation is from gas. From gas. Now, when you also go and look at the electricity bills that we are paying, you realize that we are already paying for the gas that we need to power our power plant to give us electricity. So if we are using more gas to produce electricity, and we are already paying for the gas as part of our electricity bills, then why are we paying an additional 1 cedi in the name of buying fuel to power our power plants? Are you following? The total revenue we got, or we're projecting to have gotten in 2025 alone from the gas component that we pay on electricity, was about 7 billion. And that is supposed to pay for the gas that powers our electricity. Now you are charging us 1 cedi to buy fuel, to power which generator specifically, when close to about 80% of our generation is from gas, and we're already paying for it on the electricity bills. It means that basically you are double charging us.
You've given the
you are double charging us. You are charging us more for something that we are already paying for. We are again asking them, remove that 1 cedi. Okay. Let the fuel prices go down for the people.
You're asking that they respond in 14 days?
Yes.
If they don't?
If we continue to push. I mean, as for us, all we can do is to continue to advocate for the people.
Okay.
It is our considered view that this government has no choice than to simply go into conclave, come out, and remove these taxes. These taxes that they themselves impose on the people.
They did go into conclave, so we wait for it to see what.
Yeah, we wait to see a white smoke, honestly speaking. They need to give us a white smoke. We will not pay for their cluelessness. We will not pay for their arrogance. We will not pay for their bragging. All we want is for a country where we can afford the basic things. At the moment, that's not the case. We can't pay for tertiary fees. We can't pay for hostels. We are unable to pay for electricity. We are unable to pay for water. If you go to the Teshi enclave, they don't have water. They haven't had water since June last year. June last year. If you go to Ashanti region, you cry. Shops are shutting down. Businesses are shutting down. You know why? Because the electricity comes on just 6 hours in a day.
We'll pick up on this
Those are the things that the people are looking forward to. We have taken a governance system where we can't do anything about these guys. So we are not fighting them. We are simply asking them to do the basic things to relieve the people. When we get to the decision-making point, we'll take a decision. But at the moment, we are sorry. They are strangling the populace, and the people are suffering.
Always a pleasure to have you in studio.
Thank you, Emifa, for having me.
Please stay. We're nearly wrapping the show, but I have this important conversation on cycling. Stay with me. Wrap the show on a rather high and very exciting note. Why? Because Very soon, in a few days, or maybe this year, the European Union will be celebrating 50 years of physical presence in the country, and they have planned something quite special. And so joining me in studio this morning is His Excellency Rene Skinnyback. He is EU Ambassador to Ghana. He's not new to Ghana and not new to this studio as well. And as well joining me in studio is Savine Johnson. She is Deputy Head of Mission Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany. Lady and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, thank you so much in studio.
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations to all of us. 50 years of the EU's presence in Ghana. Your Excellency, how are you feeling about that, 50 years?
I'm proud. I'm proud because I think it testifies to the strong partnering between Europe and Ghana. I think it testifies to Europe as a stable, reliable partner, which is particularly important in today's fragmented world.
Okay. Sivan, you tell me as well, how are you feeling 50 years?
Very proud to be part of the European family here. Germany has been here just after independence, but the number of member states that is present in Ghana is constantly growing. So now we have 10 member states present in Ghana. So for the 50 years, I think it is just timely to celebrate both of that with this bike ride.
I mean, you have been in Ghana for 4 years already. Yeah?
Yes.
4 years, and you've been enjoying it so far?
Very much. This country has been very good and friendly to me. I have very much enjoyed my time, and I'm sad to be leaving.
I'm happy to hear that. So in a week, particularly from 12th to 18th of April, we're going to be riding with Team Europe.
Yes.
Okay, Your Excellency, you go first. Tell me about it.
So this is a bicycle relay where European Union member states, as a Team Europe, will go across the country. It will go across the country from Tamale to Accra. It will take us 7 days. We will go, so from the 12th to the 18th, we will have different member states, heads of missions and deputies, riding through 7 regions, and we will cross the country. I think during the ride, we will meet with relevant interlocutors, regional ministers and chiefs. We'll have the opportunity to plant more than 1,000 trees. And we will certainly, apart from, we will have the opportunity to see the country, to get out of our offices, to feel the beautiful atmospheres in the different regions of Ghana, and to also sense maybe the different challenges that we have in different regions. We know that the north is much worse off than the south in terms of economic growth. We know that the challenges that are faced in different parts of the country varies enormously. And to experience them firsthand, whilst trying to tie the country together as a Team Europe who has been partnering for so long with this country, I think it's a beautiful symbolic act, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
I do look forward to it too. Sivan, you tell me, I know that it is the EU, but tell me the role of Germany and how you're preparing and how much you're looking forward to this Team Europe ride.
Let me start with the last one. I'm very much looking forward, but I'm also very scared.
Are you?
I used to ride the bicycle a lot when I was back in Germany, and here it's really hard to do that. I'm just too scared of any kind of traffic accidents, to be honest. So I'm very excited to do this. I'm preparing at home on my home bicycle, so I hope that I'll manage. But the heat outside is a bit different than inside my home, so it will be a challenge, but happy to take it on. So Germany will take on one part of this trip. So the idea is it's divided into 7, that one member state covers holding the flag for each segment. So I'll be proudly heading the segment from Sunyani to Kumasi.
Oh, yay.
So cross your fingers, please, that I will make it. Yeah, and maybe to add what Ambassador said, very often we are here in Accra, all of the diplomats, all of the embassies, Ghana government, but Ghana is a big country. And we are very active in many things that we do in all regions of Ghana, Team Europe, all of the member states. And we also want to highlight that we are not only here in Accra. We have work in all parts of Ghana for a true partnership that extends way beyond Accra and really tries to reach out to all of the Ghanaians. So this is also the point of this bike trip, why we are doing that, to say, well, most of the times you're in Accra, but we are present everywhere.
Okay. I mean, Renee, you mentioned that, I mean, if you look at the data, it's not even a lie that the North has more challenges than the South. And I know that this project is starting from Tamale.
Yes.
I also see that you're going to be engaging with the chiefs, traditional leaders, and all of that. Why? Why did you choose to start from Tamale? Why do you choose to as well engage with the chiefs and all?
You know, the EU is not only the biggest export market for Ghana and the biggest investor in Ghana, it's also the biggest donor. And the big chunk of our development grants is going to the North.
Okay.
Because we know that the North today is 18 times poorer than the South. We know that the North and that the social cohesion in the North is actually it's critical for the security, for the stability in Ghana, which is so critical for attracting more investments. Everybody agrees there's a huge potential here. Everybody sees how much could be done. But for this to work, we need social cohesion, we need stability, we need peace and democracy as we have in Ghana and have had it for decades.
Yes. Simon, so apart from the cycling, I see that there's tree planting.
Yes.
And I am quite concerned because you haven't been riding in a while and you're going to be holding the flag. But how are we integrating the tree planting into the cycling activity?
So I hope that once in a while I can make a stop to rest and then use my arms instead of the legs.
Okay.
A change in physical activity.
Okay.
But also, I mean, it's a long stretch for everybody, so there will be some stops in between, and those stops we would use to, well, first of all, rest a little bit, but also to engage with people and local leaders on site. We will also, at some parts, be joined by a regional minister or by a chief riding with us for a part of the stretch. So we're really trying to make this a joint effort. And yeah, well, with the trees leaving, let's say, a green mark along the tracks.
Oh, that's really nice. I know that it fits in the bigger picture of climate change.
Yeah, I was going to say the tree planting is really, it's important because it's 1,000 trees, but it's also symbolic because what is more symptomatic of sustainability than trees being planted? So I think this bike ride, it's about tree planting. It's certainly about infrastructures. Sivin mentioned it. We have 8 people who dies in traffic every day in Ghana. So there is a critical issue with infrastructures. And then, of course, it's about diplomacy. It's about Team Europe demonstrating, testifying to its partnering with Ghana, as it has been for the past 50 years, as it hopefully will be for the next 50 years.
Sylvain, of course, I see you and I see Germany, but you want to walk us through the other diplomats or ambassadors who as well will be taking part in this cycling?
Sure. So we have in total 6 member states joining, so EU and 6 member states, and that would be Austria. Actually, I'll be handing over to Austria, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, and also the Netherlands. So I'm between Netherlands and Austria.
Okay. Are you riding yourself?
I would be riding on the first stretch from Tamale. I'd be part of the group, and also at the last stretch from Aburi, but I'm told it's downhill all the way.
Yes, it is.
That'd be an easy.
It is really downhill. Now, beyond this, do we have any other activities after the cycling and the tree planting as well? Anything you want to let us in?
Well, as Sivin mentioned, we'll meet with the chiefs, we'll meet with the traditional authorities and regional ministers. And there will be some interaction also with influencers and media, and there's a lot going on. It will be an interesting week.
Okay.
So we will cover a lot of towns and cities, and we are trying to have kinds of meetings in all of the places that we are passing through. So there would be a big number of people that we can engage with, to really show our presence, also being there ourselves.
I can just run them quickly through. From Northern, we have Savannah, Bono East, Bono, Ashanti, Eastern, Greater Accra, and 6 regional capitals, Tamale, Techiman, Sunyani, Kumasi, Koforidua, and Accra. Sivin already ran you through the member states that are going to be taking part. I want to remind you that it's true, Abri is downhill, so we definitely will be looking at the beginning and the end as well. I'll take your final words, Sivin. You can go.
Well, I'm very excited to be in this part of Ghana. I mean, 4 years now in Ghana. I didn't make it to Sunyani yet, and actually very present in Sunyani as Germany, but more importantly, I really love the idea so much that we cover the whole stretch from north to south with all EU member states, if not physically present, but definitely present as an idea, that we make our mark as Team Europe going through all of Ghana, showing that we are here and the most important partner for Ghana in many regards.
Okay, I take your final words, Ambassador.
Yeah, well, maybe this is very symptomatic for our 50 years in Ghana also, starting out with sustainability, which is what we have been aiming at all the way through, on infrastructure, which we think are so critical also for attracting investments to Ghana, and on diplomacy, which is an increasing role for the Team Europe also, as we live in a world where partnering is increasingly important. So I think this is I'm looking very much forward to the biking, but I'm also, I see the greater meaning with it, and I think it's a good part, an integrated part of our celebration of the 50 years presence here in Ghana.
Well, thank you so much, Savine. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, as well. I wish you all the best. It is in April, just a few days. Just to remind you that it is from the 12th day of April to the 18th day of April.
Do wish us luck and strength.
Actually, you do. You do. So that's the flyer on your screen. You can take a picture of it so you don't forget the information. Ride with Team Europe. This is how we wrap up the show. But a gentle reminder that every day someone in Ghana is diagnosed with leukemia and asked to travel abroad for treatment. This must stop. Join Build Ghana's first Center for Hematology and Clinical Genetics. Donate to the Leukemia Project Foundation, Stanbic Bank, Silver Star Airport City, city account 90400043568815, dollar account 90400042998889, or EcoBank, Silver Star Airport City, city account 144100001. 44545, dollar account 34410001445544. MTN, that's quite quick, 0545013437. Telecel cash 0200 969509. This initiative is the JoyNews Impact Makers Foundation in partnership with the Leukemia Project Foundation. I am MFA Akosia Aditi. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.